Down the lane, and he'll slam it home with the right hand.
The runway cleared for Jaden Bradley. Bradley air one for takeoff.
Burries stepping around to walk a screen, throw it back to Tobe, drives on Potter, turns, fade away is up and good. 10 points now for Tobe Owaka. Wayne will wait for Bradley to come through the lane, cross court over to Del Orso, right corner, three ball is good.
Jaden Bradley waited patiently, knowing that on the far side of the court in the right corner, Del Orso was going to spring free.
Well, the shot clock is off, and Tommy Lloyd's going to tell his guys that's it. And the Wildcats will go to 2-0 on the season. They surpassed 90 points for the second straight game and are back here on Tuesday to take on NAU. 7 o'clock tip, our broadcast did.
93 points in each of their first two ball games for your Arizona Wildcats. Can they equal that and or top it tonight at McHale Center when they welcome in the Little Brothers from Flagstaff, Northern Arizona? It is basketball night in Arizona. Game 3 of this 25-26 season. U of A, NAU, 7 o'clock is the tip-off coming up at McHale Center. I am David Kelly. Welcome to the show. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, getting you set for the action tonight. We've got you for the next 3 hours. Myself, J.W. Madden, and the captain, Kelvin Efon. All you want to know about Arizona basketball, and if you'd like to get in, we'd love to hear from you, too, at 520-848-1290. Let's let you know what we've got coming up for you over the course of the next 3 hours of our program.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we'll take a look back at last Friday night's win over the Utah Tech Trailblazers. An easy one. Well, maybe not as easy as thought, but a relatively easy victory. In the end for the Wildcats. We'll get our first look at tonight's game against Northern Arizona, brought to you by Window Depot. Your scouting report, we're going to chat with the man that calls the games for the NAU Lumberjacks. Longtime play-by-play announcer Mitch Stroman is our guest there. We'll check your college basketball scoreboard, brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. A lot going on there on the basketball front. Pest of the game, who will be that Lumberjack potentially who could get underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight? I've got an answer on that. A guy that I've seen play a whole lot of basketball here in Southern Arizona. Your view from courtside, Darren Sutton will call the game with Matt Muehlbach, the Arizona Wildcat guard from the class of 1991. Darren Sutton will join us. We'll get his thoughts on tonight's game as well. Can we beat the book? Arizona, a 34.5-point favorite tonight. The over-under 164.5 bet or beat the book, I should say, is brought to you by Casino del Sol, and we'll shine a spotlight on one of your cats. Ivan Karchinkov, the freshman out of Germany, will join us on the program. We'll get his thoughts on how things have gone these first two ball games for Arizona. I've got J.W. Madden here. J.W. Madden, game number 3. NAU back on the schedule. Always great to have a chance to take on the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I mean, in-state, DK, talk about Grand Canyon, school up north, whatever. But, you know, playing against NAU I think is important. It's important because, number one, it helps the school up. It helps that school in Flagstaff, David Amata's alma mater, to get a little bit of extra money for athletic department. Obviously, we know these in-state games. But it's a good early season challenge because, you know, despite what you might think about the size of the school or enrollment or the quality of players, there's some fight. Whenever the Lumberjacks come down to Tucson or Arizona goes, you know, to play them in some neutral tournament, DK, there's always state bragging rights on the line. There's a little bit of extra energy from those folks from Flagstaff when they play the Wildcats. We know it's a 30-plus point differential, and it's going to be a spirited effort, no doubt, that they're going to come into McHale with tonight.
The captain, Kelvin Efon, also joins us. Kelvin, these are always games. We like to call them trap games because you don't want to get trapped into losing one of these games. But another opportunity for this team to find some cohesion because the next two games after this one are going to be games that folks are going to be counting on that ledger of how good this Arizona team is. So you want to work on some things tonight, get some cohesion with the freshmen out there, probably some more on the floor, have some, again, follow-up consistent games from them ahead of Friday night in Los Angeles against UCLA.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You got to get that chemistry. I think that when you have these teams of today where you have all the transfers, the freshmen, guys are still trying to learn each other. Back in the day, these games were games where we could get some of the younger guys in, some of the walk-ons in. But now these days, you can't really expect that. You got to expect for the guys to get major minutes because they're still trying to get that chemistry, cohesion, as you say. So I just think that these are games huge. NAU, again, most of those guys be hearing all the time, you go to Arizona? They're like, no, I go to NAU. You play for the Wildcats? No, I play for the Lumberjacks. And they get tired of hearing that. You know, every time they tell somebody they play basketball in Arizona. So when they come down here, you're going to have a fight on your hands, and that's just what it is.
The win for the Wildcats on Friday night over Utah Tech. They came out firing and gave the Wildcats a run early on, but U of A obviously stronger and pulled away at the end. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on the Utah Tech Trailblazers and what they offered in that game.
Obviously, you can get greedy and want every possession to go your way, but that's just not reality. You got to be able to ride the wave a little bit and figure out why it's working and figure out why it's not working and make adjustments. So I'm glad that our guys were challenged today. I appreciate Utah Tech for putting up a heck of a fight.
93-67 the final, 93-87 in the opener. As we mentioned, the Wildcats have scored 93 in each of their first two ball games. It was a nice bounce-back game for a number of Wildcats who maybe did not have an opportunity to get going as of much in the game against Florida. One of those guys was Anthony Del Orso, who scored 15 points in 6 minutes in the first half of the game on Friday night. Let's hear from Anthony after the 93-67 win.
I didn't even know that. Maybe back in the day. I felt good. I mean, my teammates obviously found me in the right spots. You know, we had a good stretch there of momentum, swing our way. And, as a guy that got the benefit of it tonight, I'm happy for it, but it could be anyone in that moment. When we're playing like that, anyone can get hot like that.
Well, and as someone who's coming off the bench, the value of being able to keep the level of what the starters were doing?
Yeah, I think, obviously, like, everyone makes a big speculation of starters and bench guys, and I think that, once you forget about that and kind of don't worry about that, everything kind of takes care of itself, and you got to come in and give the same impact you would whether you were starting, playing 40 or playing 2 minutes. I think everyone should just play, like their hair's on fire. So that's kind of how I go.
Yeah, after starting most of last season, Anthony Del Orso has come off the bench in the first two games. He's averaging 13 points, 3 assists, while shooting close to 43% from three-point. And, of course, he is one of the best free throw shooters on this team, being 7 for 7 from the line. We'll dive into the whole rotation thing because there was a lot of chatter about that after the game and how things have gone the first two contests in terms of who's starting and who's not starting and all of that. Another player who had a bounce-back game was Braden Burries, 18 points for the freshman out of Southern California after he managed just 3 points in the opener against Florida. Got into some foul trouble in that opening game, but not so much Friday night. Braden Burries on his comeback affair on Friday.
Feels great, I feel like I'm still learning from the vets on our team. And, just when I'm out there and I'm having my, lows, I just know I can rely on my teammates to keep giving me confidence and my coach to keep giving me confidence that I need.
What was it like going through the foul trouble that you had the other night, just that game in general? And what did you watch it again? Did you learn anything from it? What was that process?
I learned that you just got to make smarter decisions, be in spots earlier. And, if you're there earlier, then those fouls don't happen. Being late to spots on defense, I got to clean that up, get better at that. And also my cutouts can get better. And I also learned if you have 2 fouls early, then you're basically done until the second half.
Kelvin, you know what the young man should have learned is always feel out the refs first and then reach second, right? I mean, those early fouls that you saw Braden Burries pick up there, he's probably going to not pick up those early tic-tac fouls as the season progresses, because you need him out there. 2 quick fouls versus the Gators had him on the bench. But that's just figuring out how tight are the refs going to call hand stuff, and how tight are the refs going to call, any kind of body, movement down low early in the game, because it's always dictated by how the refs call it early.
Yeah, and also being a McDonald's All-American, guess what? The refs know exactly who you are. So guess what? A part of their job is making sure that you learn the things that you need to learn moving forward as well. So they're going to be looking for those little things on you to test you and to see what, how you're going to respond, okay? And they want you to respond well. They want you to learn from it, because later in the year, those mistakes could end up really hurting your team.
When you look at what he was talking about there, Kelvin, in terms of making sure that I get to my spots defensively, break that down, what he's talking about, what he needs to be doing there.
Well, when you're in help side, you can't be late. Basically what that means is if the ball is on the left side of the court and you're on the right side of the court, you have to be basically you basically have to split the court in the midline, and you can't get there late. You have to, as soon as that ball moves, you move. Your man move, you move. Like, you can't wait and let the guy let the ball move. You stand there. While you're standing there, someone's going to cut right in the spot where you're supposed to be. Somebody's going to roll in the spot. And if your body is already there, you own the position. So when the guy runs into you, it's okay. The ref's going to let you be physical with him. But if you're late and you touch the guy, he's going to automatically call it.
Yeah, and if you want an illustration of that, watch any game from the 12-year career of Steve Kerr in the NBA, right? So, like, anybody who doesn't have the quickest feet has to anticipate where the offensive player is going on defense. So a man beating the man to the spot means that all players at any level offensively that have any kind of three-level skill are going to try to put the defender in a backpedaling position, anticipating where that player will go and moving your feet to beat them to that spot. That's how Braden Burries, and don't reach. Reaching comes when the player gets by you and you reach in, try to slip the ball away because you weren't able to keep him out of the paint, keep him from his driving lane where he's trying to get to. So, yeah, you just got to move your feet, be smart, and anticipate where the offensive player is going.
All right, let me add to that. Let me add to that one. Also, and when someone's driving, you have to get your body in front. You can't put your hands over and dig in with your hands, because a lot of times refs call that reaching. So that's another part of what we're saying, being there early. When a drive is happening and your job is to help or to fill that gap, you have to be there with your feet set so you can take the charge or force that guy to pass the ball, and so you can rotate out of it.
All right, let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on Braden Burries' second game as an Arizona Wildcat.
Braden is he's obviously a special player, and he's a great person. And, it's a joy to coach him because he wants to do right by his coach and he wants to do right by his teammates. And so sometimes you tell him something, and he takes it pretty literal. So he's just got to find that fine line between – listening to what we're saying as coaches and trying to figure out what the team needs and playing off his instincts, because he's got great instincts as well. But that being said, there's also things to learn that are going to help make the game easier for him and make him more effective, which is really exciting.
Indeed, you look at that game against Utah Tech the other night, and the Wildcats got scoring performances, 18 we mentioned from Anthony Delorso, 18 from Braden Burries. You got 18 from Koa Pete as he came right off his 30-point performance and put up another solid scoring performance. And you had 18 rebounds in the ball game. 18 was the number on Friday night. You had 18 rebounds from Toby Awaka, and that to go along with 12 points, a double-double for Toby Awaka, the head coach on Toby and what he's added to his game this season.
From my experience with Tobe, he always needs a few games to kind of iron out the kinks a little bit. He missed some practice time with some injuries recently, but he's back going full bore now. If he's, working up the kinks and has 12 and 18 and missed a couple layups, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, he finished 8 of 10. So considering he missed a couple layups, maybe could have potentially been 10 of 10 if he doesn't miss those shots. But again, good bounce back games for Toby Awaka, for Anthony Delorso, and for Braden Burries in that contest on Friday night as the Wildcats knocked off the Utah Tech Trailblazers to get their first home win of the season. Now it'll be the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks tonight, with tip-off coming up at 7 o'clock. All right, we're going to get our first break in here. We're going to come back. We're going to chat some more about the game coming up tonight against the Lumberjacks. NAU back on the schedule for the first time in a while, and that was partly in because of the fact that the coach's son was on the roster up at the school north. Liam Lloyd, who was with the Wildcats last year for his final season as a player, spent 2 seasons up at NAU after he opened his college basketball career down at Grand Canyon. So the coach, as he does not want to play his old friend Mark Few with Gonzaga, also was not going to schedule games against his son while he was on the roster at Northern Arizona. But now that hurdle is cleared, the Lumberjacks are back, and they'll be here in Tucson tonight. If you're a Jacks fan, want to hear from you as well. 520-848-1290. It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Kelvin Efon is here. JW Madden as well. And I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks, Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
It's Truck Month at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Here's how you know you might need a new one. If your tailgate's held on with a bungee cord and a prayer, you might need a new truck. O'Reilly Chevrolet is here for your fresh start with years of experience and quality people. So what are you waiting for? See us at O'Reilly Chevrolet on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet, giving you more since 1924. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No. They use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope. Only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step, and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Burries stepping around to walk a screen, throw it back to Tobe, drives on Potter, turns, fadeaway is up and good. 10 points now for Tobe Owaka.
It's time to take our first look at today's game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
Toby Owaka, 12 points, 18 rebounds on 8 of 10 from the floor, and the Wildcats win over Utah Tech. Toby Owaka, like Anthony Delorso, coming off the bench in the first 2 ball games of this season. It has a lot of people asking questions in the media, as you would imagine that it would. How they feel about that, being seniors and having to take a little bit of a back seat role in terms of starting. Let's hear from one Toby Owaka on, as well as Anthony Delorso, about coming off the bench.
In my head, we have, 8, 9, 10 starters, you know what I mean? So, we have great guys in the team. We understand our roles and what the bigger picture is, and, we're trying to work to the best of our ability to, fulfill that.
Bro, you had 18 rebounds.
I just wondered, was there any part of you who said, hey, wait, I was a starter last year, Tobe, you were honorable mention all league, whatever, until you
Nah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you have guys like Cole Pete, Mo's coming back, JB's coming back, you know what I mean? So, and there's only 5 spots. So somebody at the end of the day has to sacrifice, and, we understand what coach is trying to build, what we're trying to do as a group. So, some of us might have to sacrifice that sort of title of starter, but, at the end of the day, we all just want to play. I think minutes count more than the title of starter or whatever, and, whether it's me, Deli, Dwayne, whoever, we're just looking to contribute to the best we can, so at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a negative connotation to that. If you're playing 40 minutes and coming off the bench, or 39, 90 or whatever, you're basically a starter. It doesn't matter who gets their name read. I mean, if you got the minutes and you got the impact, that's all that matters.
No doubt.
All right, so that was if you heard the little voice chime in there after Toby stopped talking, bro, you had 18 rebounds. That was the young freshman, Braden Burries. Didn't he sound like a little brother there? Bro, you had 18 rebounds tonight.
Yeah, he's excited for him, man. He can't believe it. He looking at that sheet like 18. It's like video game numbers.
Yeah, he just looked down in that moment and saw a number on a piece of paper. That's what happened.
He's probably never played. Braden Burries has probably never played with anybody that got 18 rebounds in a game. That's probably why he was like, oh my gosh. He was shocked by that. So interesting. And again, we talked a little bit about this the other day. And, who's starting, who's not starting. But both of those guys, and they'll always say, well, what matters is the minutes, okay? Well, if you look at Toby right now, his minutes are down from what they – and granted, it's 2 games. It's 2 games, but the minutes are what they are. He averaged 20 minutes last year. He's averaging 18 minutes this year. And the question I think now is going to become, okay, if it's the minutes, then what does that number need to be to keep these seniors happy?
Well, Toby's coming off an injury, so a lot of the minute restrictions you might see there. And not to mention, Kelvin, you got a lot of young players in that rotation in the front court. We know what Moteas Crivas brings. You know what Tobe Owaka brings. But a lot of the other guys on that front line are young. And so I think Florida game aside, last game out against Utah Tech, You need to, Kelvin, get those young guys just some experience running around the court, hearing the McHale crowd, getting their nerves out and just getting comfortable. So I think as the season goes on, especially in the Big 12 conference, guys. I mean, Tobe Awaka might as well play 25, 30 minutes once the Big 12 comes around. But for now, I think the coaching staff understands it's important to get the young guys some experience, and Tobe understands that as well.
Definitely. You know, as a senior, you have to understand because this is it, and you have to make the most of it regardless of which way the coach want to go. You're here. You have to be bought in. You really don't have a choice because everything could go negatively against you. Also, at a place like Arizona where you play basketball, when I was here, they brought Jason Terry. The next guy they brought was Mike Bibby. So at a school like this, you understand when they're recruiting some of the best players in the nation, those guys not coming if they don't think they got a chance to start and get minutes early. So the coaches have to get those guys on the floor so you see what you got in them. And then from there, you basically play off of, you know, who's playing better. I mean, you definitely got to give your seniors minutes because you got to get them going. You don't want them having slow starts or being upset with you. But you have to get these young guys in the game when it's a part of a recruiting war. Trust me, when you get 5-star and McDonald's All-Americans, they're not really coming if they're not going to be a starter. Do you agree, J-Dub?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. And real quick, DK, if I might, such a great point by Kelvin right there because there's 350 plus Division I schools in America that play basketball. There's only about 20 or 25 that reload with talent year upon year upon year. If you go to one of those marquee schools, one of the 20 best programs in America, of which Arizona is, top 10 program, you have to expect that you're going to be playing with talent. You want to be challenged. You want to play with good players. That's how you get better, practicing against good talent. However, if you come in thinking, I got to play 38 minutes or else my worth isn't being met, right? Well, why didn't you go play for a small school? There are plenty of schools in America you can go and from day one as a freshman step in and get 38 minutes. But these guys want to be challenged. They want to play for a school that has a lot of NBA potential talent on it. And that means just putting your ego aside for a little bit, maybe not starting, maybe not getting as many minutes, but it's all for the greater good and for the team goal of being as good as you can once March comes around.
Now, the flip side to that minutes thing is that last year Anthony averaged 18. This year he's averaging 27 through 2 games.
He
so
put
his
some
minutes
strength,
are up.
Put some strength on, and
Yeah.
I was talking about the other day. His facilitating, what is he at? 3 assists in every single game. Kelvin, the biggest change I've seen from Anthony Del Orso is confidence in traffic, confidence with bodies around him, and making decisions when that pressure, that body pressure, defenders around you in those moments, bigger, faster, stronger athletes. He seems a lot more comfortable to me, Kelvin, and I would imagine he's kind of that glue guy. He's kind of slipped into that little bit of that Pelle Larsson role. Where this year, Anthony Del Orso, who we know as a shooter, has really been a good rebounder. He's been a very good facilitator. And so you need a guy like that with the freshmen to keep everybody together on the court. And I think that's his role this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. But at the end of the day, it's that ability to stretch that defense. That's one of the major reasons he's out there. I mean, he's for sure the added strength, the added understanding of what type of defense and how to play with other better players offensively. I see him that he's advanced in that area. But to me, at the end of the day, his ability to stretch the floor, I don't think we have another guy on the team with that ability. So his minutes are always – he's going to always garner big minutes.
Well, and that's why, like, the strength and the facilitating is so important because last year, right, he was just as good a shooter, but he only played 3 minutes versus Duke. Right, because he couldn't stay in front of anybody, and he was having a hard time handling the ball and had turnover prone. So because he's worked on those aspects of his game, he can stay in the game for 25 plus minutes at this stage of the season. We'll see how the minutes all spread out as the season goes on. But you need, there's no doubt, you need Deli in there. He's your best shooter on the team, so he stays on the court by his ability to defend. What Kelvin always says is, who are you going to guard?
Let's hear from the head coach because he had some interesting things to say about both Tobe Awaka and Anthony Del Orso coming off the bench.
I mean, to have the luxury of making a decision that, they may not love, but it really gives our team a really unique, thrust to bring 2 guys off the bench that are that good and have that much experience. And, to me, I think, if we continue this thing and how it plays out, I think that's going to be a really big advantage for us over the course of the season. I mean, one guy has, finishes with 18 points, and I think what do you have, 15 at half. The other guy, finishes with 12 points, 18 rebounds. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I mean, you might need to look that in your statistical almanac to see how often that has happened.
It's unusual. At least since you've been here, usually you've gone, if it's close call, gone with the veteran guys, the starters. I mean, do you anticipate those guys, Mike?
Bruce, don't put me in a box. I mean, let me cook. A little bit. I don't coach out of a manual. So I coach off of feel and what I think is best for the team, and what we're doing today, we might not be doing in 2 weeks. I don't know. I mean, we're going to read and react as things play out.
Give the man his spatula and let him work his grill, Bruce.
Man, that was great. Oh, my goodness. Let me cook. Yeah.
All right, before we dive into what he said there, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Along with Kelvin Efon and JW Madden, my name is David Kelly. It's Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. It is basketball night in Arizona, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks at McHale Center. Tip-off coming up for you at 7 o'clock tonight. We're with you till 6:30 here with your pregame show. I want to get back to what Tommy Lloyd said there. I was in fact, and you're going to hear it later on as well. We'll get back to him talking specifically about Anthony Del Orso. And I was a little surprised to hear him say that, yeah, this is a decision that they may not have liked. He actually admitted that it's a decision that those two guys are probably not real happy with. Surprised that he said that.
Yeah, well, you know what? When he said that, what I was thinking about last year with KJ when they said he came in and was like, let me come off the bench. And I was like, never. I was thinking that in my mind. I was like, man, that sounds like a great story. But I'm sure he did. I mean, Coach wouldn't, but whatever. I just couldn't see KJ really wanting to come off the bench. He just seemed so competitive, right? And so with that being said, it's kind of cool for, to hear Coach say, hey, the guys don't like it, because I don't know no guy that would like it going into his senior year, feeling like he's one of the better players. I'm very shocked at Tobey coming off the bench, and I'm slightly shocked about Del Orso, slightly shocked because, again, there's a couple ways they could have went. I knew Berries was going to have to start. I didn't know how they were going to get Pete on the court, because I was like, I know Crevis is going to start. And Waka got to start. I said, man, they're going to go big. So to see Pete end up starting at that 4, I don't know if he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. So, yeah, some guys were going to have to, as Jay does say, big-time programs. This happens every year, every year.
And also, the most important factor is the said Henderson factor, which he started 4 games on the bench after never having come off the bench in his entire college career. They made the change, right, where he started after that.
Right.
And it's really a question of, can you bring the same energy off the bench in a reserve role that you do as a starter? And Kelvin, not all players can say yes to that question. So right now they're figuring out, like Kelvin, you just said Braden Burry's got to start. But less so maybe about his just supreme talent than the fact that the young man's never not started his entire career. And that difference, Kelvin, of going your whole life starting and then going into a role coming off the bench, it's just such a different experience. Kelvin, you went through that, right, coming to Arizona. So I think figuring out those guys who can bring the same energy off the bench, come in with their hair on fire, that's what they're trying to figure out right now, because it's a big difference. If you can't come off the bench, you need to start.
Well, I'll add to that. I think it's great when you have seniors that have been a part of your program. I think they take it a lot better than a grad transfer like Henderson coming in thinking that you need him, and then now all of a sudden he's coming off the bench when he thought that he was answering a weakness that you had on the team. So now guys feel some type of way. Well, these guys have been effective, basically started all last year, played huge minutes. So asking those guys to me is a little bit different than asking a guy that's coming in from high school, that's a 5-star McDonald's guy, or a guy that's a high was transfer, that was up on the transfer list. in the portal, and he's coming in where he could have started at any other place, and basically, you promised him to start. So to me, with having these two guys being veterans, guys that have been a part of your program for at least a year, I think it's easier conversation.
All right, well, you mentioned Braden Burries, who has started his first 2 games in an Arizona Wildcats uniform. You heard him marveling at the 18 rebounds that his teammate Toby Awaka got. Let's hear more from young Braden on that performance by the big man, the big senior.
Yeah, 18 rebounds. Like, that's what he do. He rebounds. So if you see him right there and he about to get it, just get out the way. Honestly.
How much, has he helped you, though, with knowing that you have somebody like that, that maybe if your shot isn't on, that you've got him under the basket to clean it up?
Feels great, honestly. Like, knowing that I have somebody that I know can get the rebound, and also, like, even defensively, like, help him, like, box out. I may not get it, but I can box out to help him make it so his job is easier. Like, it's just, like, it's only going to give him more energy, make him want to play harder, make us as a team better. So I feel like it's just great for us overall.
All right, Braden, but yeah, let's see. We said earlier, let's see you fight a little bit more for one. Take one of those rebounds away from your big brother. I'm sure he will not be too mad at you. Northern Arizona and Arizona tonight, 7 o'clock here in Tucson.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every night. It's the Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the Game. It was Toby Awaka unanimously on Friday night, and they win over Utah Tech. Could be the Wildcat with the most rebounds like Toby. Might just be the U of A star with the most impactful boards. We'll tell you the Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the Game coming up tonight on the post-game show. We'll get our first interview of the evening in. Our scouting report. Mitch Stroman is the voice of the NAU Lumberjacks. That is next. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day rolls on after this timeout. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Reuter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Reuter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Reuter Plumbing,
a neighborly company.
Graduating from high school, I realized that I didn't have all the tools I needed to help me in the next chapter of my life. The Earn to Learn program has helped me pursue my passion for early childhood education with confidence, and the financial education supported by Hughes Federal Credit Union has been invaluable to prepare me for my university career and the world beyond.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn-to-learn. Insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here, and if you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through the crazy road construction, Jack Furrier has great news with our biggest rebates of the year. Get back $160 to $220 on all Michelin brand tires, including smooth riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. Check out jackfurriers.com for even more November specials. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local choice with great service and 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or RoyalKia.com.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol. Now to December 28th, Club Soul members can strike it rich. Rush in for the $100,000 holiday gold rush. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
17 to shoot. They get the ball in bounds. It's stolen away by Burries. Now the Wildcats on the run. Burries bounce in. Del Orso to the bucket and lays it in. Well, that's the way to turn things around.
Time now for a look at today's Wildcat opponent. The Scouting Report is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there.
All right, let's take a closer look at tonight's basketball opponent, the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. Pleased to be joined by the voice of NAU for a long time, 20-plus years. Mitch Stroman is with us. And Mitch, finally, we got Liam Lloyd graduated out of the Lumberjacks program, and now we finally got this series back on. It's great to have NAU and U of A playing basketball again. What was your experience with the coach of Arizona, Tommy Lloyd's son, Liam, when he was there in Flagstaff?
Loved him, and he still has a tangible presence here with the NAU basketball program in spirit. Liam was such a great player, such a great young man, and it was so cool to have him. And obviously his dad would come up to Flagstaff every once in a while when he could, obviously when the schedule permitted, for Coach Lloyd to be able to come up to Flag and watch his son play, and that was also pretty cool as well. But yeah, Liam has left a footprint on this program in terms of his spirit. He's still talked about quite a bit by both the coaches and those of us that are around the program.
Yeah, obviously a lot of different connections with these two programs. Also with Jack Murphy, who was the longtime head coach up there. And just kind of categorize what his legacy was with that school and what he was able to do during his time leading it.
Yeah, and it's not just Coach Murphy. Also, one of your first-year assistant coaches, Brandon Chappelle, was up here as well, or up in Flagstaff, because I'm in Tucson right now, but was also with the NAU program as an assistant coach for Jack Murphy when he was a head coach. So the threads and the connections between Tucson and Flagstaff are far more tangible than just the I-10 to the I-17. There's quite a bit of connectivity between the two programs like that, and it's actually pretty cool.
We're chatting with Mitch Stroman. It is your scouting report brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960 here to get you there. The Northern Arizona Lumberjacks 1-1 on the season, lost their opener to Drake, winning over Justice at home in their first game, their first home opener Friday night, same night the Wildcats were able to win. What type of squad do we have coming in here this year with you guys?
Well, it's a new squad, to be perfectly honest with you, just like it is for a lot of mid-majors and even some of the power teams in this day and age of the NIL and the transfer portal and all of that. You sometimes run into roster rebuilds, and that's what's happening with head coach Shane Burkhardt and his staff and flag staff this year. We only have 3 returning players from last year's roster, so that means a lot of newcomers, and so the team is quite a bit different in terms of the personnel side of things. But the thing that's a consistent thread from last year to this year is the coaching staff. Oftentimes you have coaches coming and going as well, and Shane Burkhardt was able to retain all of his assistant coaches from last year to this season. That's a good piece of consistency to have. And the team looks different. I think the team is bigger. It's more athletic. It's quicker than last year's team, and last year's team was not bad. I mean, we won 18 games, went to a postseason tournament. Both of those things, the most wins and the best postseason tournament appearance in about 10 years for the program. So there was good energy and good stuff to build on from last year, and bringing the 3 players back. 2 of them were part-time starters. So there's a little bit of consistency there. Ryan Abelman and Diego Camposano started, more than a dozen games each last year. So there's that consistency to bring back. But I think overall, honestly, we're a quicker, stronger, more athletic, and longer team than we were last season.
Well, the Arizona Wildcats have had a ton of players come through this program out of Gary McKnight's school at Santa Ana Mater Dei. You guys got a young man, Zach Davidson, that comes out of that program by way of Montana. What's allowed him to get off to a quick start this season?
Well, the man has got just flat-out talent. He's a 6'9", 225-pound sophomore, as you mentioned, transfer out of the Montana Grizzly program. They won the Big Sky Conference last year, went to the NCAA tournament. He was there in Missoula, Montana for 2 seasons, but he only played 16 games. He couldn't really crack into the significant minutes issue. He's a Southern California kid out of Mission Viejo, and he wanted to get closer to home, and he wanted to have a chance to play. And that's kind of the deal right now with these young men, and they see those opportunities. Sometimes it's not just about the money. Sometimes it's about, quality of life and the ability to play Division I basketball. He's a starter here, came out of the gate and dropped 29 points on Drake in our season opener on a neutral court. 21 the other day, Friday, against Justice University. So a pretty impressive debut for Zach Davidson. He's big. He's got good post moves, soft hands, good footwork. He's a strong rebounder, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that he can play and earn and deserve not just, a few minutes here and there off of the bench, but starting minutes at a Division I program. And well, 2 games in, looking pretty good. You're averaging about 25 points per game. You'll take that every day of the week and 17 times on Sundays.
And another big man in Arnie, is it Arnie Osinek? Is that how you pronounce that?
It's Osoynik.
Osoynik?
And he's a really interesting player, 6'6", 200 out of Slovenia. He had a couple of years at Eastern Michigan, 52 games there, and started 37 games in the MAC. So he's got the chops, right? He's got the chops. He's got that European physicality that I know folks down here in Tucson are familiar with several players on the Wildcats roster over the years. Kind of that aggressive, doesn't take any crap from anybody type of thing. But he's such a positive young man, and he's just so excited to be in a new part of the country. He's soaking that all up, being out here in the West, and he's kind of fun to be around right now. But he's got some moves, man. He's physical. He's a shooter. He can hurt you from beyond the arc. Plays solid on-ball defense, and he's strong with the ball. First couple of games as a Lumberjack, 7 assists, 1 turnover. He has definitely been a nice upper Midwest addition to Shane Burkhardt's NAU Lumberjack roster.
It's today's scouting report, and it's brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960 here to get you there. The voice of the Lumberjacks, Mitch Stroman, is our guest. Mitchell, what's key for NAU in this game?
Just believing that they can come down here and shock the world, right? I mean, that's the thing. You gotta have that belief in your soul, in your chromosomes. You can't go and play the 5th-ranked team in the country on their court and just walk in there scared to death. Oh my God, we're playing this great basketball team. Well, yeah, we are, but go in there and believe in yourselves. Go in there and think that you can do this and stand up with the number 5 team in the country that just upset the defending national champs in Florida. Have that mentality, and that belief is the key for any mid-major to take on a big boy out of a Big 12 conference like an Arizona Wildcat, and just be calm with the basketball. Don't try to overplay things, and play the what Shane Burkhart likes to call lumberjack basketball. Solid ball handling, good passing, good defense, good rebounding, and see what happens.
All right, Mitch, I'm going to let you say hello to our lumberjack, David Amata, real quick here before you head off.
Hey there, Mitch.
Oh, I know, Dave. Hey, David, how are you? Great to hear from you, man. Great to hear from you, brother.
Always good hearing you, Mitch. I'm glad to see that got the basketball series back up and running, and get to hear from you again.
Amen to that. There's nothing better than these schools playing each other in Arizona, David. I think it's great for the programs, both of them, and it's great for Arizona basketball, and it's great for developing the sport and showing that, high school players in Arizona, there are options for them at the Division I level, and they don't have to leave the state. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, no, and don't think I didn't notice that. The minute that the U of A takes on NAU, all of a sudden we get reports that Mount Lemon's going to have some snow potentially this weekend. I think that's a little bit to do with those Flagstaff guys coming down here.
Yeah. What the hell is that all about? We get down here, it's 85 degrees. I've got my shorts on. Coming from Flagstaff where it was like 55, and I'm hearing about snow up on Mount Lemon. What is going on around here? I love it.
It's a late winter.
That's Arizona right now, man. That's Arizona. My wife was born and raised in Tucson, and so I know the old Pueblo very well, and it never surprises me when things like that happen.
Mitch, have a great call.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
And that's the voice of the NAU Lumberjacks, Mitch Stroman, with your scouting report for tonight.
And that's the lowdown on the team U of A is about to face on the hardwood. The scouting report has been brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960, here to get you there.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than 4 walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business service and big box selection. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Discover Rocking K, a community designed by nature, built for you. Embrace the beauty of the Rincon Mountains' high desert foothills. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park. Bordering Saguaro National Park, Rocking K is conveniently located to our region's major employers and nationally recognized Vale School District. Tour 10 model homes by 4 award-winning builders and discover why more people are calling Rocking K home. LiveRockingK.com. Proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down, into the lane, lay it up and good. Rivas, turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Kyer working left around a screen. Backs it up, circles right. Off for Dalen Terry. 6 to shoot. Terry backs it up. Terry squares up, shoots the three, scores the three.
Absolutely huge step back three there by Terry for the top of key, his second of the game, give Arizona a 9-point lead.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
Dalen Terry in his fourth NBA season, or is it third NBA season that Mr.
I think fourth.
Fourth, yeah, man. It just seems like it was yesterday he was here. But yeah, 22 graduate out of the University of Arizona basketball program. So third season in the NBA. And we'll talk a little bit about Dalen and his relationship with Koa Peak coming up here in just a tad. Hour number 2 of our show, it is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. My name is David Kelly. I've got Kelvin Efon. I got JW Madden here. Here is what we've got coming up in hour number 2. We'll check your college basketball scoreboard, brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. We'll dive into maybe who that lumberjack is going to be that gets underneath the skin of the Arizona Wildcats tonight. It's your pest of the game, brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Your view from courtside will be a conversation with Darren Sutton. He'll call the game tonight on ESPN Plus. Brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Can we beat the book? Arizona, a 34.5-point favorite tonight. They were a 33.5-point favorite against Utah Tech on Friday night. Did not cover that number. Can they cover the number tonight? Over under 164.5, so 2 points higher than what you had there. They did not cover, and the number did not go over in the game on Friday night. So we'll find out if it does so this evening. Your spotlight on a cat. We're going to chat with Ivan Karchinkov coming up a little bit later as well. We'll have your keys to the game, starting lineup, all of that still to go for you as we take you to 6:30 network broadcast time with Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen tonight. You'll hear the call right here on Wildcats Radio 1290, and of course as well over on K-Hit 107.5. We want to hear from you as well this evening. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are also streaming this show on a number of different platforms. We are on Twitter, so head on over to our Twitter page at Wildcats Radio 1290, and you can watch the show there as well as on Twitch. You can also listen to the show on our app. Download our app, Wildcats Radio 1290. The app, it slaps all kinds of great stuff. We've got a preview story of tonight's game that also features some highlights from NAU. So if you need to get your thoughts up on the Lumberjacks, head on over to WildcatsRadio1290.com right now and do so. All right, we mentioned Dalen Terry in his fourth NBA season, played in a career-high 73 games last year, but only averaged 14 minutes last year, and in 6 games has only averaged 5 minutes this season with the Chicago Bulls. He has scored 11 points in his 6 games on 4 of 9 shooting. Thoughts on where Dalen Terry's career is going at this point?
Well, the problem is they traded for Josh Giddey, and that takes basically Josh Giddey does the same thing that Dalen Terry does, DK, but at an all-star level. I don't know about you, Kelvin, but I've always thought, Dalen Terry, if he can narrow down that three-point stroke and really be a reliable three-point shooter, the intangibles, his court vision and his rebounding for his size and his defense, I think will get him on the court. I haven't seen what his statistics are in a bit, but looks like
he's only taken 9 shots.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Season.
The volume's not high enough to even see if his 3-point shooting is coming around.
Right.
But the reason he's not getting on the court right now, DK, is the Bulls have made a lot of moves. They also drafted Mattis Bacelis, who's another really hot commodity, up and coming player at a similar position as a swing player. So I think it's more like he might have gotten recruited over. Kelvin, I don't know about what you think about that, but the Bulls are actually good this year for the first time in a few years.
Yeah, and a lot of times guys like him, like Terry, are valuable because as the season go along, injuries, they give guys breaks. You know how they do it in the NBA now, load management. So he's a guy that you can plug and feel, and he'll be ready to go. He has the enthusiasm and he has the intangibles. So to me, he's a guy that gets his minutes as the season goes along because he's going to bring that same go-hard workman attitude to the game and the defender. Like you said, he just got to knock down that 3-ball to a little bit more consistency.
You mentioned the Bulls are playing as well as they have. They are 6-4, but they have lost 3 in a row. They started 6-1 this season, but they have fallen in their last 3 games. So right now, though, still in a playoff position in this early part of the NBA season. We mentioned Dalen Terry because he has a close relationship with one Koa Pete. Koa talked about his relationship with Dalen Terry.
Dalen Terry talked to me a lot throughout my recruitment process. Me and him are really close. And I was just like, what do you think about Arizona? And he just said, Coach Lloyd's a great coach, and he's going to let you play if you just go out there and play hard, and you're a good player, good character, good kid.
Obviously, both from the Phoenix area, Dalen Terry and Koa Pete. Great to have those types of relationships. If you're a young Koa Pete, a guy that's not only been in this program, but is playing at the next level and knows the ropes in both instances.
Yeah, Kelvin.
Yeah, great to have.
Having your alumni recruit for you a little bit by talking to the young folk and saying, hey, my time in Tucson was great. That's not too bad either.
Yeah, and especially for Coach Lloyd, because a lot of time when you're talking about players like that, it's a matter of the relationship with the coach and if they believe him or not, the things that they're saying to him. So being able to have Terry tell him straight up, like, hey, man, I was here. I ended up coming off the bench, but he gave me my opportunities and things went well. So right there, that gives Core confidence that it could go well for him as well.
30 points in his opener, obviously, against Florida. The dramatic start to his season. He had 18 points on Friday night. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on the first 2 outings for the young Koa Pete.
He, got off to a really loud start on Monday. And, I think he followed it up with a pretty solid performance is what I was looking for, Koa has enough confidence in himself to know that everything doesn't need to be about him at every moment. And I think that's a really special trait for a young player to have. Koa is a winner. I think every team he's on has a great chance of winning. And I think that was obviously the case for every team he's been on in his life. I think that'll be the case here, and I think it'll be the case in the future when he's playing at the next level.
And talk about the accolades that have come for Koa Pete in just 1 week. National Player of the Week, National Freshman of the Week by NCAA.com, Big 12 Co-Player of the Week with Christian Anderson from Texas Tech, Big 12 Newcomer of the Week for Koa Pete after averaging 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and shooting 68% in his first 2 games.
National Player of the Week and Conference Player of the Week? How's that work?
Exactly. Well, apparently the conference writers thought Christian Anderson's performance, 34-point performance against a school called Linwood, was somehow comparable to scoring 30 against the national
So it's good
champion.
old Texas boys, Kelvin, just trying to keep the Texas schools in the headlines.
Yeah. No, they're known for that.
Yeah, not sure. You heard Tommy Lloyd kind of talk about, obviously, Koa Pete he's won state championships every year in high school, won 4 gold medals playing on various underage national teams, junior national teams for the United States. This is a kid that is very adaptable to whatever situation that he puts himself in.
I think I've always did a good job, like just playing with other good players, because I've had experiences like with me being at Perry, I was the best player on the team, and then playing with USA, I was playing with other really good players. So coming in here at Arizona, I'm playing with a lot of good players. Everybody on the team's a good player, so just like trying to find my niche, but also just like kind of having like a balance of like knowing that I'm a good player, but also like I gotta fit the team concepts and try to learn like how to play in and out, like and stuff like that.
I mean, that's something, though, when you have a freshman like that who's been able to win basically everywhere he's gone. On every team he's been on, he's won. That's something to be said for the style of player you're getting in Koa Pete, but the type of things that he can do for all the players around him on the teams he's playing on.
At the end of the day, man, he's a lunch pail guy. You ask me. He's just a hard worker, a grinder, a guy that's just willing to do all the little things to win. If somebody's open and they have a layup, he's not going to dribble up and probe and see if he can get a bucket first. He's going to throw it up. So he's a great teammate. And when you have a great teammate as the best player on your team, it just rubs off on everybody else, and the ball just moves freely. And when the ball moves freely, everybody scores. And when everybody scores, everybody play better defense. Everybody gives better effort. Everybody be in the right spot. You can ask them to be in the right spot because I'm the one that passed you the ball to get that three-pointer. So now I'm asking you to rotate over, help quicker. So you can do that when you're doing all the right things and when you play the right way.
Yeah, and when you grow up in a Polynesian family and you're the youngest of 7, being helpful and contributing to the greater good is something that Koa has been used to his whole life, right? But I think when you're a power forward, Kelvin, and you're going on some of those USA teams, some of the AAU teams, playing within the team concept, setting screens, rebound hard, and finish when you get the ball inside. A little different for a point guard who comes maybe from who stays at a small school, Kelvin, who stays in their neighborhood and is the best player on their team and all that. When you get to the USA level, your job for your high school team is to do everything, to make everything happen, get every assist, get every point. I think Koa's transition is a little bit smoother because he can do everything. Don't get me wrong. He can ISO, he can do his own thing off ball. But his transition to this level and being able to compete with and can play to fit in well with teammates of this caliber at this level, it's easier because he is playing a position in which he doesn't have to think too much when it comes to his offensive, what he's being asked to do. What he's being asked to do, Kelvin, is go do your thing. If you get late shot clock and you need to take your guy off the dribble, other than that, set solid screens, rebound your position, box out really strong, and be a really good teammate with those, extra passes, swinging the ball, and that kind of thing.
And he's a man-child. I mean, he's probably, I would think he might be one of the strongest guys on the team, just based off what we've seen him do on the inside so far. Let's hear from Jaden Bradley. We'll go down to J-Dub to 10, one of the 10 cuts here. Let's hear from Jaden Bradley just talking about the physical strength of all these young freshmen coming into this program right now.
Yeah, I don't know, what they feeding these guys nowadays, these freshmen. They coming in bigger, stronger. some of them haven't even touched the weight in high school, but, they coming in, Braden, Koa, Dwayne, Bryce, all these guys, even the newcomers from overseas players.
Yeah, just imagine Koa Pete after a season with body by rounds and how strong he's going to be moving into year 2 here if there's a year 2 here or year 2 wherever that might be.
Oh, you're a comedian now. Oh, you're a comedian now. Come on. No, come on now. No, Cole will not be here next year. And I guarantee you the main person pushing them out would be Coach Lloyd. Guarantee you. Guys like that, man, you don't even try to hold them up. Like you said, he's already strong. He's already big. There's some technical things that he can work on. But we're lucky to be able to get guys like that for a year these days because usually guys like that go straight to the NBA. To me, that's the advantage a lot of the European guys have over our guys. They get to play professional ball earlier in life than our guys, and so the adjustment period is a little quicker. But, man, I love having Core here, but if this was a time where he didn't have to sit out a year, we would not even be blessed with him at all.
We'll ask Ivan Karchinkov that when we talk to him a little bit later, just kind of the differences that he's had playing at that club professional level in Europe versus coming over here and playing in college ball in the United States.
On one hand, Ivan Karchenkov started playing, professionally in the lower divisions at Bayern Munich at 12, but Koa Pete's 2 older sisters played D1 college ball, right? So similarities there in that seeing some competition, some heavy competition early. That's, I think, a big reason. I think we've talked about it a lot, but a big reason why Koa seems so advanced for his age is just the upbringing that he had and the people that he's been around. Because clearly, Kelvin, he's not afraid to mix it up in there. There's no hesitation. And a lot of youngest players, what you'll see, especially when they get around bigger, faster, quicker bodies, is that split second of, what am I supposed to be doing right now? As opposed to just reading, reacting. Koa is just reading and reacting.
Yeah, he has. I was just going to add, he has no fear. Like you said, he's been wrestling in the home with people 10 times bigger. And let's not forget about it because, I'm a club guy. He played for the Compton Magic, which is basically like a traveling all-USA type of team. I guarantee you 6 of the guys on that team play for the national team. And he's been playing for them since 13, 14 years old. So, yeah, he's been playing against the best of the best year-round, whether it be, high school, AAU, the national teams. He's prepared.
All right, college basketball tonight in America. Let's check out the scene.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, Big 12 tonight. A number of games on the docket. You've got Central Florida at home against Florida A&M, FAMU in Orlando. The Golden Knights are 1-1 to start the season. Cincinnati 2-0. They'll host Dayton in a Southern Ohio rivalry. They call it the Twyman-Stokes Classic at the Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati. Both those teams enter at 2-0 on the season. Number 25 Kansas home against Texas A&M Corpus Christi tonight at Allen Fieldhouse. How about a game between 2 ranked opponents? Number 11, Texas Tech will head into Champaign tonight to take on 14th ranked Illinois. Both teams 2-0, so a top 15 matchup there. One other game in the Big 12 involving a ranked team. Number 7, BYU will host Delaware tonight at the Marriott Center in Provo, Utah. Games in the top 25 this evening. One game in progress right now. Early, Wake Forest is leading at number 6, Michigan, by the score of 11-10. Fourth-ranked Duke is at West Point tonight. The Dukies on the road playing at Army. That should be an interesting affair. Duke 2-0 on the year.
Rare, too, because usually you don't leave North Carolina unless they go to New York City to play in Madison Square Garden this time of year.
And to go to West Point and play at Duke, that's a because isn't Coach
Krzyzewski?
Duke
Bobby
guy,
Knight. Bobby
Army
Knight
guy?
was Krzyzewski's coach at West Point.
Yeah, at Army, right. Florida State and Florida tonight in Gainesville. The 10th-ranked Gators already have one loss. Of course, that was to the Arizona Wildcats. They came back and beat North Florida in their second game. 18th ranked North Carolina, coming off their shellacking of Kansas, will host Radford tonight. Another game involving top 15 teams.
Rivalry.
The rivalry, yes. In Louisville, it's the Cardinal and the Kentucky Wildcats tonight. The Wildcats, the Blue Cats are number 9 in the country, and the Cardinal are number 12.
You talk about two schools that do not like each other, in basketball especially. Yeah, that's it.
That's a fun one. That's kind of like the one we got coming up on Friday night between Arizona and UCLA. Kentucky and Louisville, always a ton of fun there. Number 21, Arkansas will host Central Arkansas tonight at the Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville. 22nd ranked Auburn at home against Wofford. Other games, number 24, Wisconsin at the Kohl Center in Madison against Ball State this evening. And one more game involving ranked teams in Spokane, Washington tonight. Gonzaga at number 19 will host number 23, Creighton.
That might be
this evening
the best game of the night. Because you talk about, there's no such thing as a Cinderella or a small school when it comes to the Bulldogs anymore. I mean, they threw away that moniker 20-plus years ago. But if you think of the smaller schools that have had success in the NCAA tournament and consistently are up there, it's Creighton, Gonzaga. Or Butler's had its moments, right? But Creighton and Gonzaga are the two, Kelvin, best smaller schools that have been competing at the NCAA level in the past 20, 25 years.
Yeah, Wichita State, made a little noise as well. But those two right there are two of the top right there that's on that, what I call high mid-major.
There you go. That's a look at your scoreboard to open this basketball Tuesday night.
The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions, Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master planned community designed by nature, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business service and big box selection. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Uh-oh, another plumbing disaster. Don't panic. Call the pros at Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. From clogged drains to full-blown repipe repairs, our expert team is fast, getting repipes done in one day. Reliable, professional, and always ready 24/7. When water won't behave, Acclaimed saves the day. Call 520-200-1089 or visit acclaimed-drain.com. Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. Trusted, local, acclaimed.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' Cay with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
There's never a good time for plumbing issues.
No.
Honey, my parents are here.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. With Drain Masters in Tucson, not only do you get local, professional, full-service plumbing with 24/7 scheduled or emergency service, you get a lifetime transferable warranty on all house water repiping. So this...
They brought my aunts and uncles, too.
...is gonna be fine. Drain Masters, we do it all. And now offering financing. Solid service, fair price, guaranteed. DrainMastersTucson.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Back here with you, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you'd like to get in on the program, you can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona getting set to take on the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks tonight at McHale Center. Tip-off coming up at 7 o'clock. We've got you till 6:30. Ryan Hansen and the voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries, will be on the call. Arizona then will head out onto the road after the conclusion of this 2-game homestand. They'll head to Los Angeles to take on the UCLA Bruins. That'll be Friday night at 8 o'clock at the Intuit Dome, the renewal of the rivalry. UCLA this week ranked number 15 in the country, and then I would imagine they'll come home first and then go out to UConn early in the week. I don't know if that'll be in an entire road trip where they'll go straight from Los Angeles to Stores, although they certainly could do that. And then they'll take on Connecticut a week from tomorrow night, Wednesday, down in Stores, in which will be an early start for us at 5 o'clock. So we'll be on the air next Wednesday at 1:30. With your Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day.
Kelvin, how does that make you feel, coming up in the Lute Olson scheduling era to see the Arizona Wildcats go to Cameron Indoor last year, and now they're going to Stores to play at UConn in the non-conference?
I love it, man. That was one of the great things about playing for Coach O. You're playing Michigan at Auburn Hills. You're playing Arkansas in Fayetteville. You're playing Georgetown at Madison Square Garden. I mean, you're in big-time games, and it just feels like, that's the same thing that Tommy Lloyd, he came in, he probably listened to the boosters and the donors, and then he understood that big-time games attract big-time players. And, hey, if I'm a coach, if I want to lose, I might well lose against the best.
And as far as this schedule goes, I think it was Rhino that made this point. Having number 3 Florida, followed by Utah Tech, Northern Arizona, number 15 UCLA, number 3 UConn, Denver, Norfolk State, number 22 Auburn, number 8 Alabama. It lines up so that they have these high-intensity games, these nationally televised games for the freshmen, to figure out what this level is all about. followed up by some games that you're 30-point favorites in. Do you like that, where you come from the big high of the nationally televised game, and then you might have, cupcake type of thing where it's maybe not, you try to get some of the other guys in the rotation a little bit more meaningful minutes?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's just smart of a coach, because that's the same way the season is going to be when you get to the Big 12. I mean, you have the top, all the teams are really good, but you have teams in there that are not the greatest. So, you got to get your guys prepared for everything. And I just think playing against the best competition at the end of the day is only what they say: steel sharpen steel, earn sharpen earn. That's it.
Well, Cup, as Northern Arizona comes in here, they are 1-1 on the season. They lost to Drake in their opener, and then they had a win against Justice University. I have no idea where Justice University is, but if you Phoenix.
Yes, it's a small school. My buddy actually is the head coach. He started it out up there. But yeah, it's a small university up in Phoenix, a Christian school. Pretty sure.
Well, there you go. Kudos to our guy there, Kelvin Ifan, knows where Justice University is. And again, it's a team that comes in here. There is one young man on there, and we'll get to our pests of the game here shortly. Right now, they are led in scoring by Zach Davidson, who is averaging 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 assist while shooting 65% from the field. He's had some trouble shooting free throws, only 5 of 16, but shooting the ball well from 2. Ryan Abelman, who we heard a little bit earlier from our interview with Mitch Stroman, is averaging 13 points and 8 rebounds and 4 assists so far. Arnie Osoinik is the only other Lumberjack averaging in double figures. He comes in averaging 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists so far in this early part of the season. So 1-1 Northern Arizona, 2-0 Arizona. Who will be that Lumberjack that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight? Let's find out who we think it's going to be.
Who is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
Well, guys, this is an easy one for me. I got to go with my guy, Traivar Jackson, who absolutely loved covering this young man for the 2 seasons he played up the street on West Anklam Road for Brian Peabody at Pima College. He's out of Alaska, a high flyer. I mean, he had some he dunked with the best players that I've ever seen play for Brian Peabody at Pima. He's had a little bit of an interesting road since then. He started out down at Tarleton State in Texas, made his way to Grand Canyon for a season, and is now finishing things up with NAU. But I'm going to go with Traivar Jackson to get hot tonight on his return to Tucson and potentially be a thorn in the side of the Arizona Wildcats. J.W. Madden, who do you like tonight?
I think I'll go with Ryan Abelman, because looking at their team, the biggest issue you have with a team like NAU coming in 30-point underdogs is just that equalizer, which is the 3-point line these days. And so if a team's going to come in and put a little bit of fear into the Arizona Wildcats, or have McHale's fans, DK, maybe not making as much noise as some Kentucky alumni might think they should make, it's going to be because of 3-point shots. And he's taken half of the 3-pointers that NAU's attempted this year. So I'm going to keep it simple. The volume 3-point shooter is the one I'm worried about. So Ryan tonight, got to make sure that you find him beyond that line.
Since you brought that up, Kelvin, did you hear what Jamal Mashburn said during the broadcast the other night?
What in particular?
Let's hear what Jamal Mashburn had to say about the crowd at McHale Center.
Well, first of all, that crowd in Arizona looks like they need a charcuterie board and some wine, because they are sitting on their hands.
A charcuterie board and some wine, because this was at halftime when because Utah Tech got off to such the fast start, and apparently he thought the crowd wasn't doing enough to get the Wildcats back in it. So a charcuterie board and some wine.
Yeah, well, we've heard similar things in the past, but they're there. That's one thing we can say. They are there at the game, and me and J-Dub know if you give them something to cheer for, they the best fans. But, they was trying to figure out what they had there for a second.
You know what I'm hearing is a long memory from a Kentucky Wildcat alum because they think in that fan base that they should have gone back-to-back. And Arizona might have had something to do with that. So love me some Jamal Mashburn. Maybe he should talk next time that the U of A hosts Houston or some big game, Kelvin. Because as we know, the thing about this fan base is that they've seen so many good basketball games over the past 30, 40 years that sometimes when a team like Utah Tech comes in and they're favored by 35 points, it's not until you get back-to-back lobs or a couple of steals in a row or some kind of crazy run or Salim hitting 4 straight threes before the crowd gets a little animated because they come to that game, Kelvin, to kind of just watch the Arizona players do their thing. And so if the Arizona team's up by 20, but it's just kind of been layups and mid-range jump shots, you might not hear a lot of noise.
All right, before we get to Kelvin's pest of the game, let's pause here for 10 seconds and allow for station identification. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, getting you set for the Wildcats and Northern Arizona Lumberjacks tonight at McHale Center. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. If you're headed down to the game, want to hear from you today. 520-848-1290. Chime in. You can call us. You can text us your thoughts. You can also, don't forget, you can interact by voice, by text, by a picture or video on our app. Just head on over to our app, upload yourself talking about the Wildcats on a video, or you can upload an audio file and let us know your thoughts, your take on the game. And you can also text us or send us a message through our app. The Wildcats Radio 1290 app allows you to do all of those things if you have a thought about Arizona Wildcats men's basketball. Okay, so Ryan Abelman for J.W. Madden, his pest. Traivar Jackson out of Pima College, my pest. Who do you got tonight, Mr. Calvin Yvonne?
Well, you definitely got mine with Traivar out of Pima. But another guy that I don't know, I'm not sure how much playing time he's going to get, but if he does, he plays a lot like his brother, Walker Time out of Dallas, Texas. We're going to go with him.
Okay. Drew Pine.
That's the big brother. Walker Time is the brother that's at NAU.
Oh, okay. I don't think he's played yet this year. So if he gets into the ball game, that would be a first opportunity for him.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Well, we haven't had a chance to see him on tape yet this year, but that could give this NAU team a little bit of a burst of energy if he gets out there for sure tonight. Walker Time, a redshirt junior, 6'7", 227 pounds. He's another guy that's been well-traveled, played at J.J. Pierce. Pierce, I believe that's a junior college, correct? McNeese.
High school.
That's the high school. Okay.
Richardson Tech.
Okay, so McNeese State and College of Southern Idaho have been his two stops. As again, this is a team that's got a lot of transfers from different places. They've got Kaven Bradford, who's a transfer from Buffalo. Isaiah Shaw, who we mentioned out of Grand Canyon, also played at Valparaiso. Arnie Osoynak has played at Eastern Michigan. So they've got some guys that have played at some different places who have found their way to Flagstaff and trying to be a part of lifting Shane Burkhart's team. Shane Burkhart now in his 6th season as the head coach of the NAU Lumberjacks. All right, so those are the guys we think will get underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight.
That's our best of the game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290
day
is the number to get in on the program if you want to have your thoughts on Arizona basketball. We still to come are going to chat with Darren Sutton. He is the guy that's going to call the game tonight on ESPN Plus alongside the Wildcat legendary guard Matt Muehlbach. So we'll get Darren Sutton's thoughts on the game. Darren has also called a number of the Arizona volleyball games this season, so we'll pick his brain on that. The ladies will be up in Tempe tomorrow night for their rematch with Arizona State. Arizona needs a win to split the Territorial Cup point there, as the Sun Devils already beat the Wildcats by a count of 3-1 here in Tucson late last month. So we'll see if Sharita and her girls have some payback in store coming up for the Sun Devils tomorrow night. Arizona women's basketball is off until Sunday. They are off to a 2-0 start with wins over UC Riverside and UC Irvine. Grambling State out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference comes to Tucson for a meeting on Sunday. That'll be a 2 o'clock start, and Derek Palmer will have that game for you over on Freedom 1400 with coverage beginning at 1:45. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. I'm David Kelly. We've got Kelvin Efon here, J.W. Madden as well. Much more straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704. Or jtautoaz.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business service and big box selection. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, choose a genuine local Tucson company, Done Right Services. With decades of trusted experience and upfront pricing, Done Right Services treats every customer like a valued neighbor. From upgrades to urgent repairs, our licensed professionals deliver quality, care, and craftsmanship you can count on, getting it done right. Call Done Right Services today at 520-369-3966 because you deserve it done right.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. It's time now for us to take you down to the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser serving Southern Arizona over 30 years.
And our view from courtside today comes from the man who will call tonight's game on ESPN Plus alongside the Wildcat legend Matt Muehlbach, a longtime Arizona broadcaster, Darren Sutton, and he joins us now. And Darren's been all over Arizona basketball. He's been calling Arizona volleyball this fall as well, so we'll chat with him about all of that. But Darren, you had a chance to see this team up close and personal on Friday night against Utah Tech. What were your initial takeaways from seeing this fifth edition of Tommy Lloyd's basketball team?
They're young, athletic. He really feels like, a lot of times you have to wait for, things to lock in and fit. This is a real testimony to the way he coaches and the way he challenges personnel, the way, you guys know as well as I do, that it's not just about being an elite talent. It's about being the right fit. And they're one of the tiny handful of programs that will also lean in and make sure that character matters, playing the way that he wants you to play matters. And you don't have the quick results that you've had if, in fact, that doesn't occur.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, obviously, that came out of the post game the other night was Tommy talked a little bit about the rotations and the matchups and how he's using guys, and obviously bringing a couple of veterans off the bench in Anthony Del Orso and Toby Awaka, and how that's being received. It's a dicey thing to navigate if you're a head coach, how you're dealing with veterans versus new guys who have played well enough, obviously, to deserve to be in the starting lineup.
Yeah, it gets gray real quick, though, doesn't it? Because I think the compensation that you can earn, even if you're a sixth or a seventh man on a team that's going to win, is real. It's a way to set yourself up for whatever choice you make going forward, whether it's playing in the States professionally. Some of these players will play internationally. But yes, I mean, winning compensates. Winning is joyful. Winning builds your character as a man, and you're building foundation. So that goes back to what I was saying initially. You're right. It gets a little tricky and it gets a little complicated, but we know who Tobe is. We know who Del Orso is. And these are guys that are just fine with that. And I think if they weren't, they wouldn't have been found to fit in the first place.
We're chatting with the ESPN broadcaster, Darren Sutton. He's got your view from courtside. It's brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona now for over 30 years. Darren, what stands out to you for Koa Pete? Obviously had the awesome first game against the Florida Gators and a very solid second game as well. Shot the ball extremely well in the game against Utah Tech.
Yeah, it's just the shooting. You just nailed it. It's making so many shots out of the gates. I mean, a lot of times you'll see a freshman with this level, with this NBA level of talent. The plays are around him. The plays are set up for him. You don't see a player shooting nearly 70% to start that way. And it's his ability to shoot, his ability to create. And, he shared the basketball, too. I don't want to lose that. You got a guy in his couple of games that's got 8 assists. That's a real number, and it's something you don't see as much for a guy who's going to be known as scorer first. But, again, it speaks to the system. Pete's going to be a star in this system, and he's already fit in well. He's an international style of player, even though he's a local player, playing in the World Cup, playing for the U19 team. So I got the chance to go see him play at Perry a couple times because that's my neck of the woods up in the valley, and he seems to be fitting in quite nicely. It's such a cool thing.
Yeah, I loved that we had a chance to chat with him, and I loved how he said when he was asked about so many guys with your talent would have left and gone to a prep school or something of that nature, and he said, look, I can play high level during the summer with my AAU team, but I want to be with my guys. I want to be with my boys that I grew up with during the high school season. There's not a lot of kids out there that have that mentality that I'm going to stay home and play with my boys, and then I can get as much competition as I need to during the summer.
Yeah, bear with me when I give you a comp because I lived so much of my world in amateur baseball. And it's a young man by the name of Cam Caminetti, and you guys have heard of Floral High School up in the Phoenix area. First round pick a couple of years ago of the Atlanta Braves, multiple $1 million signing bonus. And again, had a lot of the same values. And I just felt like when I met Koa, talked to him, different sport, different way of life, but very much the same values. And I immediately thought of Cam. Now, Cam's going to be in the big leagues in 2 and 3 years in a different sport in baseball, but he was very much the same way. He could have donned the Bryce Harper route and jumped to Scottsdale Community College, been a first-round pick, but he wanted to hang with his friends one more year. He wanted to go to prom. He wanted to – the same things that you said. He played circuit in the summertime, did incredible stuff playing around the country, playing travel ball, winning gold, doing the big things that way internationally, but had the same very much sensibilities. And when I met them both, obviously Cam's a local kid, so I know him for years. But, you know, when I met Koa, oddly enough, I lined him up with a talented baseball prospect.
Darren Sutton is our guest. He is going to call the game tonight on ESPN Plus. It is your view from courtside, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona now for over 30 years. Another obviously talented freshman on this roster, Braden Burries, struggled in that first game against Florida, got into some early foul trouble. He's got to work on that. Defending defense is always the one thing that they will sometimes trip up these freshmen, Darren, that when they get to this level and the speed of the game, and you can't reach you can't reach to get those steals like you used to be able to in high school.
No, you can't, and then you get gun shy to even take those chances. You don't, like I like to say, let the athlete. You get inside your own head, and it was nice to see him take on a mid-major, to gain the confidence back. You know, I'm excited to see him get a little bit more fearless in penetration as well. Only a couple of times he's been to the line so far this year, and they gave him 32 minutes in that Utah Tech game to play and play and play. And, you know, he's another one, a West Coast kid who stayed out west. Remember reading about him at Roosevelt High School and hoping he would land and 2,000 high school points. So it's been fun to see him. That's kind of, unworldly is what has gone on with the man we were just speaking of in Koa. More worldly and more realistic, still an excellent player. I'm excited to see Braden tonight. Every game I'm excited to see these kids, and I mean that with all due respect to the vets, but it's exciting to see the kids out there and to see how they fit in. And, maybe not all of them leave immediately. Maybe 1 or 2 of them stay a year or 2 or even 3, dare I say.
As you've gone through your preparation for tonight's game, what stands out to you about Northern Arizona? I can't wait to see the kid that they got out of Grand Canyon, Traivar Jackson. We watched him for 2 years with Brian Peabody's program up here at Pima College, man. And that kid was a high flyer when he was here playing on the junior college level.
Yeah, Traivar is special. There's some other fun names there. Isaiah Shaw, the Shaw family, of course. Caleb Shaw doing big things and playing over at Grand Canyon. Dad on the coaching staff. And so for me, Casey Shaw, who had professional experience, I'm a little tied to that program, too. I'm lucky enough to do both, Grand Canyon and Arizona on television this year. It's kind of my secret, super blessing. Like it's kind of like I'm a basketball geek. Ryan Abelman, too, out of Vegas. Bishop Gorman, which is, I'm bad about this. I apologize. I know it is a great baseball school, but they can hoop as well. And so Abelman's a kid, too, that he went to South Florida for a bit, or I should say San Francisco, not South Florida. Went to San Francisco for a minute and ended up transferring over. He's another one. He's played internationally, and excited to see him do things tonight. So those are 3 names. Shaw, more on the personal side, decided to see how he fits in, is going to get a handful of minutes. And Traivar, of course, yes. Remember and know of who he is, and then to see Abelman play, too. They're going to at least run a good game, but this is going to be all Arizona tonight.
Yeah, no question about that. But good to have these 2 back on the schedule. Obviously, I mentioned with Liam Lloyd having been there for a couple of years, Arizona and NAU didn't play. Coaches just don't like to play their sons or their brothers or anything of that nature. So good to be able to get them back on the schedule. And I mentioned also that obviously you've been on a lot of the Arizona volleyball games. They've been surging. They just finished finished a 3-0 homestand, getting set to head back up to the north side to take on a very good ASU team. What has stood out to you? I think one of the things that I've noticed that's been key, at least the last couple weeks, has just been the emergence of Renee Jones coming back from injury to really add some size to that opposite position for Rita Stubbs' crew.
Yeah, Renee's amazing. Number 2, Big Deuce. Like it's incredible what she does. I love this team. I love what they did. The BYU, like the domination of BYU was shocking. That was kind of astonishing to me. They got good players. I mean, Jordan Wilson's going to do what she does. State Player of the Year, Hamilton High School Gatorade Player of the Year. Scoggins, an incredible setter. I love Ave because Ave is kind of a freelancer. She's going to pick up kills when she sees the kills in front of her. But I think you nailed it. I think Renee Jones, the way she plays, I'm a Journey Tucker fan because give me a great middle blocker who can also score and score at about a 400 clip, like really hit accurately. So Adriana Bridges is another one. They're adding. Here's the thing. You knew who you had, and those, Scoggins and Wilson are names you knew who you had. Those are players that you knew were important that would do good things. On the defensive side, a player like Haven Ray, excellent server and a great defender. You knew these players were there, but then they're kind of stunning this conference. I mean, they're really stunning this conference. As you said, with the perfect homestand, the win over BYU. I tell you, it's been fun to call a couple of stunning wins. It's funny, they call them upsets, but after I get done watching the game, I think, man, if only there wasn't that loss to Texas Tech, that RPI would look a lot better. But you got to clean up your messes, and that was one of their messes. And darn if you don't clean it up by beating teams that are like 13 in the RPI, 19 in the RPI. I haven't checked them fresh because I don't have them again for about a week and a half. But I'm hoping they climbed back into the high 40s because they got right with some really good teams.
Yeah, but they've got 3 straight road games now. They've got to handle some business away from McHale Center. I'd like to see them get at least 1, maybe 2 of those. It's always going to be tough. Against Arizona State, that program has obviously put themselves in the conversation for being one of the better programs in the country. So we'll see how that game shakes out. It is Arizona and Northern Arizona at McHale Center. Tip-off coming up at 7 o'clock. You can watch the game if you're not going to listen to it with us over on ESPN+. Darren Sutton and Matt Muehlbach on the call. You got Matty ready to go tonight?
Oh, man, I'm missing Maddie. I've had all kinds of fun assignments this year, but none of them with the dashing and handsome Matt Muehlbach. So I love being back with him. It reminds me of the, 6 years, I guess it was 7 years, where I worked with Mark Grace up at Chase and calling the Diamondbacks. It's like a day off when you have somebody that cares that much, that knows the sport that well, and is such a pro in that color chair. I'll be honest, don't tell anyone that they might not pay me, but it's literally like a day off work. I love Matty Mack. I really do. Matt is a joy to work with, and he's taught me a lot about this sport over our last, probably almost been 5, 6, 7 years we've worked together.
Well, you better be careful. He was in the play-by-play seat for one of those. He might be coming after you.
That's fine, man. Man, come get it.
Yeah, he's Matt is one of our all-time favorites. It was fun watching or listening to him and Reggie on that exhibition game for sure. I told him they got to get Matt, Corey, and Reggie and maybe give them one game where it's just the 3 of them talking basketball for 2 hours. And I told Brian Jeffries that. He said, "Yeah, I don't know that people would know exactly what was happening because they just go off on all kinds of tangents."
Hey, it's TV. It's TV. You can see what's happening.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't get away with that on radio. It's TV. I'm 100% with you, and basketball lends itself to that kind of a presentation.
Absolutely. Yeah, but we always enjoy when you're on the broadcast, too, Ultimate Professional. Darren, have a great call tonight.
Cheers. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you to all those veterans out there.
Absolutely. Darren Sutton, ESPN Arizona Plus, Arizona ESPN Plus broadcaster. He's got your view from courtside.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Southern Arizona for over 30 years.
Looking for fun? O'Reilly Chevrolet has EVs in stock and ready to roll. Chevy's led the EV charge since the Bolt in 2016, and now we're keeping it going with the all-electric Blazer, Equinox, and Silverado. Innovation, power, and savings all in one ride. Come see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or visit O'Reilly.com. The Chevy EVs are here, and the future is electric. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Rush into Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun this holiday season for the $100,000 Holiday Gold Rush. Now to December 28th, Club Soul members can strike it rich. Drawings are Fridays and Sundays at 6, 7, and 8 p.m. Win up to $1,000 in free play when you match 2 prize cards. And every 100 slot or table points earned gets you another shot at the gold. Rush in today, only at Casino del Sol. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' Cay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. Get 0% financing and no payments for 18 months. $3,000 trade-in for your old AC. 10-year parts and labor warranty. Plus a free system upgrade.
Have an aging heating and air system out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today. 520-201-8220.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a 3 out there and drains it. Nawaka takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip-off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
And here's a runner by Bradley. Count it, and he's fouled.
How about Jaden Bradley's ability to do exactly what John Wooden would say, Brian? Slowness to quickness, and that's the change of pace that he can just go quickly, stop on a dime or the reverse, and his body control as he was falling to the ground after the hit.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, final hour of our show before we get you over to the network as we lead you up to 7 o'clock tip-off tonight here in Tucson between Arizona and Northern Arizona. We've got our chance to beat the book straight ahead. Wildcats are a 34.5-point favorite, brought to you by Casino del Sol. Over-under tonight is 164.5. U of A was 33.5-point favorite in the game Friday night. They did not cover. We still got DK with TL coming up. My questions to the head coach of your Arizona men's basketball team. We'll ask him a little bit about his star freshman Euro, Ivan Karchinkov, who you'll also hear from coming up in this hour. A spotlight on a cat. Ivan knocked down a couple of big three-point shots, and the Wildcats win over the Florida Gators, 2 for 2 from 3. Came a little bit back to earth against the Utah Tech Trailblazers. We'll see if he can get it going again tonight. Keys to the game, starting lineups, all of that coming up still straight ahead. We'll also hear from Tommy Lloyd on the development of Anthony Del Orso this season. 520-848-1290 is the number if you'd like to get in on what we're doing here tonight. Your thoughts on Arizona men's basketball. We'll take a call right now. T-Money, you're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
Gentlemen, great show. Hey, what you just said, Matt Muehlbach, Reggie Geary, Corey Williams, courtside, that hurt my brain. I can't believe I even thought of that before. That's outstanding. Maybe Richard Jefferson in the studio. But it's awesome just to hear all the cats in the media. Tommy Tolbert on KMBR, the esports leader, San Francisco, and then our man K-Rock here, keeping us right here in the local scene. Man, it's pretty cool to see the cats all over the place and be able to teach my sons, like, hey, this guy was a Wildcat, this guy was a Wildcat. That is cool. Thanks for pointing that out.
Coach Kerr might have been the best out of all of them, too, right? Coach Kerr, as an analyst, when he was in that chair, was really, really good at that job.
Yeah, he was he like TNT? And before that, he was, I think he did a local San Antonio play-by-play as well.
Yeah, on that note, Sean Elliott, right? Like, Sean Elliott's been on the Spurs broadcast for, 30 years, 28 years, something like that?
Mm-hmm. That's true. I did forget about that. Yeah, there's cats all over the place. I don't know if Calvin's still there, but I had a question about his take on Jaden Bradley. Like, is he a transcendent point guard in that he a guy who'd be able to lead us to the Final Four, lead us to a national championship? Like, what's his personal take on Jaden Bradley?
Well, sure, man, and I appreciate the man, the love, but I think he can because he's efficient. He's very unselfish with the basketball. As a lead guard, as a point guard, that's the number one attribute you have to have, especially on a young team with so many parts, so many guys that can, do their own thing. He could be the actual glue guy as one of the best players on the team. So I think his ability to get to the basket, creating shots for others, kicking out to guys, making the game easier for other guys, and then on the other end, he basically has to take on the toughest guy. So to me right now, he's probably our top guard defender. So to me, those are the type of intangibles that you need to be able to lead a team far into the NCAA.
K-Rock saying that he's our best defender, our point guard's our best defender, just made me 14 years old all over again. 1997. All right, guys, bear down. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Team Money. Appreciate you checking in. Kelvin, you want to? We might need to see if we can get you down in one of those courtside seats for a game day analyst. You think you can handle that?
Oh, no, I definitely think I can handle that for sure, man. Being able to work with you and all the other great producers I've worked with, I guarantee you I can handle it.
There we go. See, we got to get a thing going here with these Wildcat alums out here analyzing basketball. 520-848-1290. If you'd like to have a thought to get in on the program, we sure would like to hear from you. It's interesting. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and we'll do this now here. We'll do a DK with TL now, since T Money brought up Jaden Bradley, because the first part of what we're going to hear from the head coach is about Jaden Bradley. So my questions this week to the head coach of your Arizona men's basketball team.
For all the questions you need answered, it's DK with TL. Our David Kelly asks Tommy Lloyd questions, and you get the answers. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
All right, well, we all know that Jaden Bradley has been left off a bunch of lists. He was not on the all Big 12 preseason team to start the year. He was not on the Naismith list of 20 top point guards in the country. And although Tommy has expressed some, thoughts about that after the win over Florida, ultimately, Tommy says it really just doesn't matter if other people don't have the respect for Jaden Bradley that they do inside their room.
JV's a great player, and I'm not trading him. I love having him. So, again, I'm not going to get into, what other coaches are thinking or who deserves a vote for, whatever. That's everyone's individual right. They can vote however they want. And to be honest with you, I really don't care because it has no impact on what we're doing. And you know what? The guy who probably, cares as little as I do is JB. JB's about helping our team win. And that's why we love him. He's a good player who is always going to do what's best for the team. And you tell me a coach in the country that wouldn't want that, as opposed to a guy who's, there to serve himself and try to make himself an all-conference player, good luck. I'm gonna take the guy that does what the team needs every single day of the week, and we have that guy.
Tommy, Yvonne's a guy that has a very great grasp of the English language coming in. Does that give him an advantage over some of the international players that maybe are struggling with English their first year here on campus?
Sure. I think the other thing, Yvonne, is he's been coached in English. I think Dwayne, is the same thing. I mean, those two are both, obviously almost perfectly fluent English speakers, and they're smart guys. So, there really hasn't been a lot of, language barriers with them. CD, we're still, crossing that bridge, but CD's really, really smart, and he's learning fast. So it's been fun to watch him, just, how fast he learns. He's like, I'm blown away. Like, I've lived in, Tucson for, going on my 5th year, and, my Spanish hasn't gotten a lot better, Burrilla, I mean, I know what that is. Burro, I know that's also a burrito now, but it's pretty limited. So I'm impressed when somebody else like CD can learn as fast as he does.
And those are the questions that you needed answered. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
Hey, he was talking about CD Gay, who got into the game. So apparently we had thought maybe CD might be a candidate to redshirt, but he did get into the game the other night, played 3.5 minutes, and got a bucket in the game the other night to go along with 2 rebounds. A 6'11" freshman forward out of Senegal who played club basketball as well. We talk about Ivan Karchinkov playing club ball. He, too, has played club ball with Real Madrid in Spain. And Tommy went on a little bit more after the ball game talking about the plan for CD Gay.
CD and I, we have a plan. And we know the plan is in the future for him. But he's CD's. He's gone through a lot of changes in his life in the span of a couple months, and I don't think any of us could do what he's doing. I think we'd all be like back home already, and so I'm really proud of how he's hanging with it, and I can't wait to get on the court with him a little bit more individually here coming up. And now that he's, kind of getting sustained practice time, and I think he's going to be a really a great asset to this program in the future.
So there you go. I'm a little surprised they played him in that game on Friday night. Thoughts?
Well, I think you kind of got to get a little playing time, kind of keep his attention a little bit, because one injury, who's next up?
Right.
So you have to plan for that. And we've been talking about getting guys minutes and getting guys into games. Sometimes it's just getting you in at the end of games just to see how you react and how you respond coming off the bench or whatnot. So he's a guy evidently that they have some type of plans for, and especially if someone get hurt, but for sure in the future.
And it's one of those things where, again, the red shirt might not come this year. It could come next year. You could play him and get him some experience this year and then redshirt him next year. Two, if you wanted to try to get, some extended time out of that. But we'll see. We'll kind of see how that continues to play with C.D. Gay. But definitely I was a little surprised to see him out there on Friday because I thought for sure him, along with the likes of Bryce James, were definitely going to be candidates for that red shirt. But a guy that, again, you're looking long term with a guy like C.D. Gay. It's not like he's going to be likely out of here, well, unless he just absolutely blows up and gets out there and starts playing crazy. But he's a guy that is definitely probably a long-term plan type player on this roster. One of those guys that you're going to be looking at 3-4 years down the road, still wearing a uniform here.
Yeah, and he'd have to outplay the two centers in front of him to get meaningful minutes. You're talking about maybe some kind of unforeseen injury or maybe some foul trouble or whatever. But I agree. I think you have to have a backup plan. And if CD sits there on the bench, my basic philosophy, DK, is I trust the guys making a combined $15 million a year to coach the University of Arizona men's basketball team, that they have all of the factors and all the data behind the scenes to make those informed decisions as to whether or not a young man's ready, whether it needs more seasoning, needs to get in the weight room, those kind of things. So clearly seeing CD out there in the last game, it used to be that you could play a little bit, right, and still have a redshirt year. But now one game and the redshirt year's done. So clearly the coaching staff saw something in the young man that he could come in and spot minutes, even if that's 2-3 minutes here and there, just to give the other two centers a rest if there's some foul trouble. It's always good to have depth in the front court on the bench.
Yeah, and we talked about it last year. It's crazy that the rules for basketball are not the same or along the same lines as the rules for football. Where
it's percentage, right?
Yeah, you can play a certain amount of minutes potentially or in a certain number of games and still maintain the ability to do a red shirt. I'm not sure why that's not the case. I disagree with the fact that it's not and shouldn't be a case for basketball players as well. But I don't make those rules.
30% is football.
Yeah.
30% of games.
Exactly. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's find out right now if we can beat the book today.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, I'm not doing very well with this through the first two games. I am 0-4. J-Dub is 2-2. Kelvin is 1-3. NAU is getting 34.5 points tonight. Kelvin, or J-Dub, since you are winning, we'll let you go first.
I'm going to give our brothers or cousins to the north the benefit of the doubt that the energy level they're going to come in, you're going to see some bench players. So I think that number is closer to high 20s. So, no, they don't cover 34.
All right, so J-Dub is taking NAU and the 34.5 points. Kelvin, you are in second place, so you get to go second.
Yeah, I'm with J-Dub on this one. I don't think that, we're going to beat them by 34. I think they're going to play a little tougher than that.
All right, everybody seems to think that line is way too high for Arizona. I kind of felt the same way, so I'm going to stick with the group on that one. I'll go NAU plus 34.5. Over-under is 2 points higher, 1 point higher. That it was 162.5 against Florida. It was 163.5 against Utah Tech, and now it's 164 against NAU. The Wildcats have 93 points in the last two games. It really comes down to, I think, what the other team does, because the Wildcats have been consistent in putting up close to 100. But I think I'm going under again on this.
That was going to be my joke, is that we already know Arizona's going to score 93 points tonight. That's been established. What's the over-under again, you said?
164.5.
I'll say over. this
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
over this time.
He's going to go over. How about you, Kelvin?
I just don't know about the Lumberjacks defense. I think the young guys are going to try to get out there and get some shots up. And, I think the Lumberjacks are going to shoot, and they're going to be confident coming to McHale. Confident they're in state, that they're not foreign to the building. So less, shaky than maybe some other schools like Utah Tech coming in.
Kelvin?
I think that I think U of A got to come in and lock down. I think they've gave up too many points. I mean, they've had more points than the other team, so they won. But I think they want to lock down a little bit, and I think they're going to play some better defense from top to bottom. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go under.
All right, so Kelvin and I are taking NAU and the points and the under. J-Dub is taking NAU and the points and going over 164.5. We'll find out who beats the book coming up later tonight.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, let's hear some more from Tommy Lloyd, just talking about his rotation and how he feels about it and how everybody's got to kind of buy in on this team and be a good teammate.
Enjoying your teammates' success is really important, for any culture, and it's easy to say, and it's harder to do. And and we're human like anybody else, but we were making a really concerted effort to build in a great culture here, and we got work to do, and in a good way. If we didn't have work to do, I'd be lying to you. So I like where we're at, and I like the experiences we're having, and I think they're great learning opportunities for our guys.
Just a couple games now. What have you learned about kind of the rotation so far that you may go with, or is it still?
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. Obviously I'm pretty comfortable with those 8 guys that have been playing. And I don't think Evan's far off, but Evan, I had a good talk with him. Like what maybe when and where some of his opportunities will come. And part of this deal is, I feel like I have an obligation to develop some of these younger guys that are going to be in the rotation a little bit more and give them some experience. So, I'm not taking for granted that they're really good, that it's going to come easy. And I don't want it to come easy. Things that are learned, without, friction, without adversity, that they're less valuable than things that are earned, with a little bit of struggle. And I honestly 100% believe that. So I appreciate and embrace when those struggles come and do everything I can to try to help our guys navigate it.
All right, there you go. That's the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. He mentioned that he's comfortable with the 8 that he's had pretty much in the games so far, and that's included the starters, Jaden Bradley, Braden Burries, Ivan Karchinkov, Koa Pete, Moteus Krivas, and then Anthony Delorso, Toby Walker, and Dwayne Aristode off the bench. And again, Evan Nelson kind of being that guy that maybe might get might be able to scratch into that rotation, depending on the opportunity that's available there for him. If there was a surprise for me so far, that would probably be it. I thought maybe Evan might get a few more minutes early on than he has gotten to this point, but we'll see. We'll see if his time comes for the lad out of South Point Catholic High School.
Yeah, and Kelvin, I think coaches know what Evan Nelson can give them, right? And they know that he's not going to come into a game as a substitute wide-eyed as if he doesn't know what the heck's going on around him after spending so many years playing meaningful minutes at Harvard. So, yeah, I think with Evan Nelson, when you get a senior transfer guard in, Kelvin, is a guy who knows what the offensive flow is all about and how to keep guys moving.
Yeah, you're right. And Evan understood coming here what the situation was with Berries and Jaden at the point guard position. So it was going to be tough to get a lot of minutes there. But he knew that if opportunities come up where guys got in foul trouble or they needed a guy with a little bit more veteran leadership on the floor, he's going to get those minutes. So I think he's still invaluable. He's going to be very valuable in some tough moments. He's going to be a great force out there on the court. It's just a matter of time. Right now, you heard Coach say it. He has an obligation to get those young guys minutes, okay? And a lot of that obligation is because they're 5-star McDonald's All-Americans, So I just think that he just has to be patient, and when his opportunity comes, make the most of it.
Yeah, and I think Burries is probably the big key there. Bringing the ball up under pressure versus Inland Empire schools, right, is a little different than bringing the ball up under pressure versus Kansas. So you talk about Evan Nelson, 50 starts at Harvard. He started 50 games in college basketball already. I think the coaching staff wants to see if Braden Burries, you've seen him as the backup point guard. When JB's out, it's been Burries predominantly, if not Del Orso, bringing the ball up. So I think they're trying to get a gauge of Braden Burries' confidence under college-level defensive pressure. I think they know that Evan Nelson can handle that when his number is called.
Arizona ranked number 5 this week in the AP poll, up from number 13. We thought they'd make a good jump. I didn't think it would be that high. 25th week for the Wildcats that they've been ranked in the top 25 under Lloyd. The most recent time that they were in the top 5 was 2 seasons ago in late March when they were the number 4 team in the country.
Also, the 174th time that Arizona has been in the weekly top 5 of the AP poll.
Overall, yeah.
Top 5 team in the country voted in 174 weeks. This is the 174th week, guys, that they've been ranked in the top 5.
25 of those under Tommy Lloyd. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We want to hear from you today, 520-848-1290. We're going to chat with Ivan Karchinkov coming up next. Spotlight on a cat, the 5th U of A freshman to debut with a double-double, which he had 12 points and 10 rebounds in the win last Monday night over Florida. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, along with J.W. Madden and Calvin Ifan. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed. Life well lived.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here, and if you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through the crazy road construction, Jack Furrier has great news with our biggest rebates of the year. Get back $160 to $220 on all Michelin brand tires, including smooth riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. Check out jackfurriers.com for even more November specials. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local choice with great service and 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
My family was having significant challenges, so I dropped out of high school. I returned to school as a computer science major to support my family. And Earn to Learn and Hughes Federal Credit Union helped me get back on the right track, teaching me to be responsible with my money and planning for my future. Learning about the credit union difference gave me the life goal to never bank anywhere else.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn-to-learn. Insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain. No one should go hungry, especially at Thanksgiving. That's why Gospel Rescue Mission is hosting our annual Thanksgiving Blessings event. Join us on Wednesday, November 26th for a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal. Also, clothing, haircuts, additional resources, and life-changing opportunities. Celebrate the holidays with us, because Thanksgiving is better when we share it together. Visit grmtucson.com to learn more.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thona Nation.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Shot clock at 5. Karchinkov, long ways from the basket, turns, fires the three, scores it! The freshman with both of the Wildcats' Lexus of Tucson charity threes, and Arizona takes the lead at 42-41.
Our pregame show, Spotlight on a Cat, is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Shining a spotlight on a cat, we are pleased to be joined by freshman big man Ivan Karchinkov from Germany by way of Moscow, Russia. And he has gotten off to a fast start to his college career and hit a couple of three-point shots in the Wildcats win over the Florida Gators in Las Vegas. Ivan, had you ever been to Las Vegas before you went there to play last Monday night?
No, that was first time.
What did you think of all the the big, tall buildings and all the bright lights that's associated with that city?
I was definitely overwhelmed a little bit, especially when you had to go through a casino into the hotel room. So yeah, that was.
Yeah, that would be a little overwhelming for sure. So you come out, Ivan, and you guys only take 5 3-pointers in the first game, and you take 2 and make both of your 3-point shots. I don't know that we were talking on the pregame show last week about who's going to be the 3-point shooters on this team. I don't think any of us mentioned your name. Do you fashion yourself as somebody that could be a pretty consistent 3-point shooter for this team? And how have you kind of developed that aspect of your game?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I could be a lot of things for this team, and shooting is one thing out of it. Yeah, I mean, I was working a lot of my shot, just working on it, and working on it every day in practice, showing it off in practice, showing it off in the game, and just finding confidence to shoot this shot, and making it also when it matters.
And we talked a little bit. Tommy was talking about the coach you played for at Bayern Munich. I forget the gentleman's name. Was it
Pablo Lasso?
Yeah, Pablo Lasso. Tell us a little bit about Pablo Lasso. What you learned from him, what kind of coach he is, and how he's helped develop you for this opportunity here in the United States.
Oh well, it was my first year really playing for the pro team for the whole season, and yeah, I mean. I learned a lot. That season, we also played with Serge Ibaka, so a lot of different looks on basketball that I've never seen before. Just because it's just a mind of basketball, and yeah, I learned a lot of tactics, a lot of different visions of it. And I feel like that made me better just because I understand what to look for in a play or, in basketball in general.
I don't know. I mean, Ivan, I don't know how much of the American basketball ledger you're familiar with, but is there a comparison like when you're playing with a club team like Bayern Munich? Would that be a higher level than what you're playing now in college? Do you think is it maybe more comparison with like the G League, which is kind of the minor league for the NBA? What would be an American comparison to the kind of basketball you guys play over there with the club team?
It's tough to say because the college is only like until 24, 25 years old guys.
Right. Yeah.
Over there in Europe, they're so basically it's the best league in Europe. So it's basically NBA just for Europe. I would say it's like in a level between the NBA and the G League.
So it's interesting because a lot of times when freshmen come in here, we talk about, they talk about the speed of the game. When you got here, did you feel like the speed was not overwhelming for you because of what you had experienced playing with a lot of older players?
So I would say the physical aspect was not overwhelming for me, but the speed aspect was. Especially because, in college, the guys are younger and everybody goes, 100 miles per hour. and over there in Europe, there you have older guys like Shabazz Napier, being 33, 34 years old. He's already seen a lot. He doesn't need to be quick anymore. But here it's definitely way quicker. So I also had to adjust to that a little bit.
So how have you done that? Have you run sprints? Do you run a lot of suicides? How are you trying to adapt to having to be able to guard some of those fast guys out on the wing?
Yeah, man, I had to do some extra work with Coach Rounds, and yeah, just in practice, run up and down. Always be the first one, always win the matchup on the fast break, the first 3 steps. Just be active everywhere, and it stacks up, and then in the game it shows.
Yvonne, this is JW Madden here. I know that in Europe it tends to be very regimented, a lot of set plays and a lot of sets. Coming over to Coach Lloyd's system, which has a lot of freedom, and you're really making read and reacting. Is that a big transition for you coming from Bayern, or is that something that you're used to and it's not too difficult for you to get into that motion set?
Well, that's true. In Europe, we definitely play a lot of sets. For me, as I was a younger player and not a lot of sets was run for me, I had to play off read and react. So basically, coming here, it was a perfect situation for me because all I did was play and react. That's perfect for me. The less plays, the more instincts kick in, and I feel like I played enough basketball to make the right decision.
I know Coach has said that he has been on you about your rebounding. What is he when he says he's on you? What is that conversation like about what he wants you to be grabbing rebounds?
Well, he just wants the maximum effort out of me. So he wants me to be always active on the boards, especially don't let anyone else to get the rebound. I mean, on the opponent's team. Basically, that's not only a me thing. That's more a team thing. But especially he is talking about me because I've been lacking lately, in preseason. And, that's what he said. Had to step it up a little bit. And, yeah.
It's interesting. We were talking on the post-game show. It's like, Toby Awaka grabs 18 boards and he's taking rebounds from guys. It's like if you and Toby are going up together, it's like, okay, I'm just going to defer to Toby and let him get this rebound. What's your mentality there when you and Toby are going after the ball at the same time?
Yeah, I got to make a business decision there,
for probably for your own safety too.
For sure, yes.
Ivan Karchinkov is our guest, Arizona Wildcats freshman forward. Ivan, let me ask you, you had that 1-3 that you kind of had to shoot as the shot clock was going down. How quickly were you aware that was just one you were going to have to kind of heave to try to get that, to see if you could get that one to go down?
Well, I was at the left wing. I saw at the shot clock. I had 5, 6 seconds left on the shot clock. And so I just, tried to play a little pick and roll, tried to, see a gap. Didn't get anything, and then, just had to make an aggressive play, get some space, and then just, shoot it.
And, it's interesting. Like we've had obviously a number of international players that have come over, and since Tommy got here, it's kind of been at the forefront of his recruiting. How much do you know about some of these schools? Like, I'm sure you knew Florida was one of the best teams, that was the champion from last year. But how much do you know growing up about Duke and North Carolina and Arizona and Kansas and some of the other powers? Is that something that you even knew about, say, maybe when you're 19 right now? Is that correct, 19?
Yes, I'm 19 right now, yes.
So, like, when you were 16 or 17, did you know anything about Duke or American college basketball? When did you kind of maybe begin to familiarize yourself with, these are the teams, these are the good teams, and all of that?
Yeah, I think 16, 17 is a good age point of my life where, like, starting to watch college a little bit or just get to know it through social media. I think it's also when so Zion was playing at Duke, where I got to know, like, okay, Duke is good, Kansas is good, Arizona is good. Just seeing something on Instagram or Facebook. But I never, like, thought about it more than a quick second because it's just tough for me to watch the games because it's just the time. Difference is like more than 6 hours, depending on where in America. But I definitely knew a couple universities.
It's your spotlight on a cat, Ivan Karchenkov, brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet. Now, when you play for a guy like Pablo Lasso, who obviously coached Luka Doncic as well, does he talk about that a lot? Does he tell you, does he frame a lot of his teachings around players he's coached like that who have been successful?
I would not know. I would not say. He would only say like an example. Like I also played with Dino Radonjic at the same time, and he was the same age like I was when he was playing for Pablo. And he said, like, look at him, how he did it. That's your role going to be on the team. But no, I mean, he just said, whatever he thinks of me as a basketball player, whatever my role is going to be, X, Y, Z, and that's basically it. But he didn't really like template somebody to me.
How about your parents? Were they able to watch that game against Florida?
In replay.
Oh, they watched it on replay? So what did Dad have to say? What did he say after he watched it?
He was happy that we won. Just happy that I'm, getting along with everybody, playing in a big stage. And, it's a little tough for them being so far away because my first, 18 years I was with them almost all the time. But no, they was happy about it for sure.
How do you deal with do you get homesick? How do you deal with that?
No, I don't get homesick because I know my goal is, to play basketball here.
Yeah.
And to make the next step, I have to do this, so I don't really get homesick.
And did you live on your own when you were playing with the club? Did you live on your own, or were you like at an academy living there by yourself, or were you living at home when you were playing with Bayern Munich?
Yeah, I was 2 years at an academy.
Okay.
And then I moved. So I was living alone a little
bit.
So
that gets you ready for a situation like this.
Yeah, for sure. But also back there, 1 hour with the car and you're at home. Here, it's 12 hours on a flight, and then you're maybe gonna make it.
So, are the parents going to get here at all this year? Are they going to be able to come to the United States at all this season? Do you know?
Yes, my parents are going to come around Christmas time.
Awesome.
We're going to celebrate the New Year's Eve and, New Year's together. And it's going to be a nice time.
Has anybody adopted you here in Tucson in terms of, having you over and making sure you're well fed and all of that? I know that Moteus has a family that he routinely goes and hangs out with.
I mean, I'm pretty much cool with everybody on the team, managers, coaches, and we hang around sometime, play some cards, just watch some basketball or football. I feel like I'm home here, but nobody can like replace real real feelings, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. What's the card game of choice?
I would say Uno.
Uno.
Yeah.
All right, who's the best?
Me, of course. Come on.
He's a freshman, and he's already beaten the seniors at Uno. Yvonne, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Continued success. Best of luck against Northern Arizona.
Of course. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And that's your spotlight on a cat. Our thanks to UMA freshman forward, Yvonne Karchinkov.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat. Brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here, and if you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through the crazy road construction, Jack Furrier has great news with our biggest rebates of the year. Get back $160 to $220 on all Michelin brand tires, including smooth riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. Check out jackfurriers.com for even more November specials. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local choice with great service and 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Rightway is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 11,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Rightway to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Rightway today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah, it's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than four walls. It's
where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Final segment of our show today as we get you set for Arizona Wildcats basketball. U of A, NAU tonight at McHale Center. I'm David Kelly. Kelvin Yvonne, J.W. Madden also here. Love to hear from you as well. 520-848-1290. Final chance for you to get in on the program tonight. If you're headed down to the arena and want to shout us out, please do so. Tommy Lloyd, speaking of shouting y'all out, Tommy Lloyd was very impressed with the crowd that was at McHale Center for the game on Friday night. Here's what the head coach had to say about the throng of 14,000 that showed up for the win over Utah Tech.
I want to thank our fans for coming out tonight. You know, I mean, I know maybe in the past, some of these games, you know, we played early. The attendance hasn't been so great. And obviously a loud start, you know, probably helps that a little bit. But, you know, we're doing this for the community. And I hope everybody understands that. I mean, we understand what our program means to this community and the feelings people have about this program. So last night, after practice, I go to play padel, and I play very poorly. And you know, I'm learning, and it's kind of walked out embarrassed, not embarrassed, but like, man, this is really hard. You know, I'm struggling at it. And then I go to dinner with my parents who are in town. And, you know, walking out of the restaurant, so, you know, I'm sweaty because I just got done playing, and I'm, you know, tired. It's been a long day, practice, all this stuff. And I'm walking through a parking lot, and a guy, like, chases me down. And I'm like, oh, okay, last thing I want to do is, you know, somebody chase me down and, you know, want a picture or whatever. But he came up to me. He's like, Coach, thank you. Thank you for what you and your team do for this community. Monday night's game, you brought my family together. My entire family, multi-generations, watched that game together, and it's all my parents could talk about. My 80-year-old dad, it's all I could talk about, and he called me the next day, and he wanted to talk about it again. So that's what we're here for. And I know we all want to talk about fabulous freshmen and rotations and stuff like that, but this program means so much more to this community. And I'm thankful for the fans that come out. We're going to embrace it. I hope our fans enjoy this team and enjoy this experience and enjoy the ride, because you know what? It might be bumpy, but it's going to be an adventure, and we need every one of them, and we appreciate every one of them. And I don't want that ever to be, you know, the people think we're taking it lightly, because we don't.
There you go. Head coach talking about interacting with folks in the fan base, people chasing him down in parking lots. That can be kind of scary these days when folks are running after you in a parking lot. But great to hear about those interactions that the staff is having with people in the community.
And Kelvin, I love it the way Coach Lloyd, especially this year, has been talking about being a steward for the program, and the program's so much bigger than us, because the attention's always going to be on the head coach of the 5th ranked team in the country. The attention will always be on that head coach. But if you listen to what he's been saying a lot in the post games, he's talked quite a bit about that tradition that came long before he ever stepped on campus. And the reason that McHale, Kelvin, is filled is because of the guys like you, who put in all that work way back in the day, because they've just had that sustained success for so long. And obviously, Tommy Lloyd is the best man for the job to continue that and take it to new heights. And I just love the fact that he's reverent to what came before him.
Yeah, no, man, that's the way, that's the way it's supposed to be, man. I mean, he's been around top program at Gonzaga, and he understands what, they've done for that program. And so now he has the ability to be in a program like Arizona, and he understands that some of them gyms that they played in when he was at Gonzaga wasn't quite filled up and didn't quite have this type of fan base that travels all around the country with him and, and support those guys. So, that's what a real coach does. He shows love to the people who pay them bills.
Yeah, never take for granted. Pauley Pavilion, UCLA has been ranked all year, one of the 5 most proud traditional teams in the entire history of the sport. They had 3,000 fans at their first home game, 9,000 at their second home game. So that's not something that you'll see at McHale. The fans come out regardless of what the point spread is.
Absolutely. No question about that. And we'll correct ourselves. We've got Reggie Geary on the broadcast tonight, not Ryan Hansen. So it'll be Brian Jeffries and Reggie Geary with the call of Arizona basketball tonight, Wildcats and the Lumberjacks. Let's find out what we feel the Wildcats need to do to win this game tonight.
How did our keys to the game go for your... Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, keys to the game tonight for the Arizona Wildcats in their game against Northern Arizona. Kelvin, your thoughts on what the Wildcats need to do to get the victory tonight, other than just show up?
You don't want to underestimate your opponent, man. I think they learned a little bit about that. They got a lot of young guys on the team who probably, sit back and want to see if the seniors kind of get it going. Well, you can't underestimate anybody you're playing, so the guys got to come out, get right on top of NAU. I think that's what's important right away. You have to out-rebound teams that you're bigger than. So I say you have to out-rebound them, I think, by more than 10, I believe, in this game right here. And then it's a game that I want to continue to see Berries and the young guys kind of get a little comfortable because after this game, there's not going to be much room to wait and see what we got.
No question about that. Well, I think we talked about bounce-back games last time against Utah Tech, and I think one guy I'd like to maybe see have a bounce-back game is Moteus Krivas. We want to see everybody playing at a high level, and I think Moteus got into some foul trouble in that game Friday night, much like Braden Burries had gotten into foul trouble in the game on Monday against Florida, and that kind of took him out of it. So, better defense, less fouls is always going to be important, I think, for this team moving forward. You don't want to give teams free opportunities, and if you're Moteus Krivas in particular, you want to try to stay out of foul trouble tonight. Get on the floor. I'd love to see Moteus get his first double-double tonight. Let's get 10 plus and 10 plus for Moteus Krivas going so he can start to begin to feel comfortable as well. So that would be one of my keys tonight, and a solid performance by the starting big man, the junior out of Lithuania. Also, I think you mentioned the rebounds. That was also one of my tones. Rebounding is going to be important. You talk about the fact that you're bigger than them. And I would go even higher than that. I think you said 10 plus. I would go 15 plus. Dominate the boards for the Arizona Wildcats in this game against NAU. That would be awesome to see as well. And I think for the other freshmen, I just want to see them continue to be solid out there. I think a strong game from Koa Pete, shooting the basketball, rebounding the basketball as well, getting him some of those boards going on that side to help you get to that plus 15 would be great. And another smooth game for Braden Burries. Get to those spots like he talked about. Don't get into the early foul trouble reaching and reacting. Use your feet to get to those spots and be able to defend at that end of the floor so that you can get into that 3-level phase at the offensive end. Those will be the things that I think will be important tonight for Arizona against the Lumberjacks. J-Dub.
For me, I think it starts and ends with what's happening Friday. Not look past the Lumberjacks, but Cronin's team is going to play hard on-ball defense. I think tonight the Arizona Wildcats need to take care of the ball. They need to not have any kind of sloppy passes in the passing lanes where Lumberjacks can get at it and be really strong while bringing the ball up. Just make sure that this should be a lesson on every single game, but with the game around the corner and the defense that we know is coming, just a good time to make sure that you're sure-handed and not being sloppy with it. Get out to a big lead. I know that I said under in this game, but I think I'd love to get them out to a big lead and have the Cats have the ability to get guys like Aristote and guys like Nelson in the game for some meaningful minutes against, a decent quality team. And number 3, just, limit the open layups and threes from the NAU side. It doesn't matter what level of competition you're playing. You communicate on defense is going to take time. It always takes time for people to get to know each other and players to understand tendencies offensively. But defensively, it's always communication, right side, left side, letting the players that you're playing with, letting your teammates know what offensive players are doing on their backside, on their blind side that they can't see. Practice those communications. No backdoor cuts by Lumberjacks for wide open layups, that kind of thing. Limit open threes. And that's what I'll be looking at tonight as my keys for the game, DK.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd like to see Evan Nelson get some quality minutes on the floor running this team so he can start to figure out that flow for him as well and how it's going to work both at the offense and the defensive end of the floor. All right, that's what we think the Wildcats need to do to beat the NAU Lumberjacks.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
And Jaden Bradley, the point guard, says defend, defend, defend.
Defense, that's what we've been preaching, harping on defense and, good offense. And I feel like, throughout the year, last year, we kind of had our ups and downs, shooting-wise and defensive-wise. So, kind of staying consistent, the whole year. It's not going to be perfect, but the defense is something that can be consistent throughout the year. And, shooting is going to be up, going to be down, but, hang our hat on the defense end.
And defend early, because I think we saw in that game against Utah Tech and really both these games to start the season, they've kind of allowed those two teams to come out and make some shots early. Defend that three-point line early so that teams don't think that they can get going against you, Kelvin, on a night like tonight.
No, I agree. You got to pick those guys up at half court. I think that's the type of energy you got to bring, because against teams like this, sometimes the name doesn't get you going. So you got to get your own energy going by stepping up and picking up on defense. Sometimes I would love to see throw in a full court press, making the guys go full court man-to-man or full court zone press, just to pick up that activity a little bit.
All right, let's give you your starting lineup for tonight's game.
The foundation of a great basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature.
Or the starting lineup as we believe it to be. Jaden Bradley at one guard, 6'3", senior out of Rochester, New York, averaging 18 points and 6 assists through 2 games this season, career high 27 against Florida. Braden Burries is a 6'4" guard out of San Bernardino, California, 11 points and 3 assists, had 18 against Utah Tech. The man in the middle is Moteus Traivar, 7'2", out of Lithuania. Most so far, 6.6 rebounds in 2 ball games. Forwards, Ivan Karchinkov out of Germany, a freshman at 6'7", and the other forward, Koa Pete, averaging 24 points. Enjoy the game, Arizona and NAU. Bear down, Arizona.
The future of fun is here at O'Reilly Chevrolet. We've got EV Blazer, EV Equinox, and EV Silverado in stock now with instant acceleration, 0 gas, and lower maintenance costs. Act fast. Federal incentives end September 30th. Visit us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. Chevy EVs are here, and the future is electric. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet. My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than 4 walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think first chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the ghost pepper challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Right Way will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. Get 0% financing and no payments for 18 months. $3,000 trade-in for your old AC. 10-year parts and labor warranty. Plus a free system upgrade.
Have an aging heating and air system out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today. 520-201-8220.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Little jumper in the lane, rolls in for 2, drives into the lane to the bucket and good. It's good with 1 on the shot. Down to 5 seconds, that's it. Wildcats are headed to the Elite 8 on Saturday.
Dreams can come true. Arizona has won the national championship.
When it comes to basketball, nothing beats Wildcat basketball. Stay tuned for the fast breaks, blocked shots, and big buckets as Arizona Sports Enterprises brings you University of Arizona Wildcat basketball.
The Wildcats' brief 2-game homestand wraps up tonight as the NAU Lumberjacks visit McHale Center. On a night that we salute our nation's veterans, the Cats and Jacks meet for the 129th time on the hardwood. Arizona starts play tonight with a 2-0 record. NAU is 1-1. This is a series that has been played since 1919, with the U of A winning the last 35 games, but now the first since 2021. Tonight, important for the home team primarily due to the upcoming schedule. The Wildcats will face UCLA and UConn in consecutive games on opposite